Is it time for you to get new windows, doors, or siding? Then I have 2 pieces of advice for you. Call Tommy's Windows and get multiple quotes. Then you can compare our costs, products, and references. Go to GoTommys.com to give us a chance. We're Tommy's Windows.
Go Tommy's!
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. on Wednesday, March 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 69. In hour 1 of today's show, we'll recap LSU versus Southeastern baseball and talk Pelicans Thunder on the hardwood. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, yo? Welcome back, OTB. Another day, another great show for you today as we got a couple games to get to. We have some spring football to get to, some transfer news, as well as some players speaking with the media for the first time. We got an hour of flustering coming out. We got some spread lines with our guy, Hold the Mayo, and we got the whole crew here in studio. So it's going to be a lot of fun. YouTube.com/1045ESPN. If you want to get involved, you can always go get in the chat there. Like, subscribe to all that. Also, this will take a little while for this to build up, but be on the lookout. There's now a podcast flipper on the channel. So, although, look, you can get, your wonderful OTB podcast wherever you like to get your podcasts. Currently, it will be on YouTube as well soon. So, some cool stuff going on. But how's everyone doing today? We got Jake, Taylor, Alondra all in studio. What's up, Jake? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. You're looking good, man. All dressed up.
Yeah, I wore this to church last night.
Okay.
To be Thaddeus, and then so I was like, I just put it on like before I went there. Might as well just lay it out for the morning. Always nice when you don't have to think about what to put on.
You've been known to do that.
But yes, you heard right.
Tell us more about
another stage turn for your boy, one of the 12 disciples. Very excited.
Thespian.
Yep. It's gonna be a good time.
I'm
lines.
upset you didn't tell us because we could have went and watched you in the play.
Well, it's not. It's the service on Thursday.
Oh, you were doing rehearsal.
It's rehearsal.
Okay.
Yeah. The service is on
The little
Thursday.
dress. Okay, it's a dress rehearsal though.
Yeah, you were dressed up.
Well, that was actually the first night. Tonight's the real dress rehearsal, and then the big show will be tomorrow. I think it's gonna be fantastic. I think it's gonna be beautiful. I don't know much about Thaddeus, but I like his painting a lot.
Yeah, he had a great catch against Alabama.
He really did.
True.
Yeah.
That toe tapper, bringing that foot back in
Talk about
bounds,
getting mossed.
Yeah,
reestablishing himself. Also a good lead blocker.
It was.
When you had to rely on him.
It's very true.
No lines, though?
No
Dang.
lines. Which I know.
That is unacceptable.
I know.
Hiding a light under that
Do
bushel.
you need me to
Normally
talk
don't
to
show
somebody
up
about
for
this?
No lines, right?
Right.
I mean, no, it's okay. It's okay. I got my agent on it, so I wouldn't worry. too
Well,
much
I think
about
your
it.
agent's the one that needs to be talked to because why would they give you a role with no lines?
Well, I kind of pursued this, and so my agent came to it late. Yeah. Taylor, how you feeling today?
Doing good as far as my wedding
well.
anniversaries go. Last night was
How'd
the
it go?
best one, so it went really well.
That's a good joke, y'all, because that was his first one.
It was the best one so
I
far.
appreciate that. Dinner was good, though?
It was
Delicious?
good.
What'd you get,
Cannot
little
believe we made it a
redfish?
year. So, no, I got that last time. I got a lobster roll. It was a special they had. I had never had a lobster roll.
What?
Never?
I love
I've
lobster
had lobster,
rolls.
not like the lobster
Yeah.
roll.
My wife loves lobster rolls.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Whatever on
I
lobster
love
roll.
lobster rolls.
Really?
I had one at Army Navy this year.
Okay.
Elite.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Live your lobster roll based truth. Alondra, what's up? How you doing today?
Doing well.
How was the 1 year anniversary of the Taylor Swift Eras
It was
tour?
great.
yesterday for
I
you?
wore my Taylor Swift shirt and I was listening to Tay Tay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so all was
Well,
well in the
all
world.
all too well.
All right. Where do y'all want to start?
Dang, if you knew Taylor Swift, that would have been funny.
Oh, that like all too well was like as I was just moving on. No, sorry. All I've ever listened to is a few songs off of Midnight.
Yeah, get it together.
And it was good. It was good from what I heard. Where do y'all want to start? Do you want to start with LSU Southeastern? Do you want to start with Pels Thunder? What do you want to do?
I want to start with this microphone. Watch this.
Need some rejuvenating.
Dang, little flaccid mic.
Y'all remember
Just a little
Blue Chew?
flaccid mic falling down.
I hope this
Yeah.
wasn't Taylor last night on his anniversary.
How could I forget Blue Chew?
Hey, this one over here has some problems every now and then. You gotta tighten the little side over here.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I need. Just give it a little.
Been trying over here.
Twist.
Give it a little love.
Been trying to give it a little
You
TLC.
just gotta rub it the right way,
I know.
and it'll stay up there.
It's a little genie in a bottle, and I am not rubbing it the right way.
So what do you want to do? You just want to start on Pels Thunder then?
We can because it felt over, and then you're like, we're back.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
12-0 run to end the game.
Fortunately, as complete as this Pelicans team has been this year, one area that they have consistently struggled in has been clutch scoring. And last night was kind of the epitome of that, as after a furious comeback in which you were down 30 and then you go up 5 late. I mean, you had the three. Oh, who hit the big three? Trey hit the big three, and then CJ had a ridiculous layup at the rim finish the next possession. You're up 5 with about 3 minutes, and at that point, all the momentum in the world is on your side. Unfortunately, you do not score for the last 3 minutes and 10 seconds of the game. And look, you can get mad about the refs because there was a carry when it was tied 112 apiece. There was an awful carry by SGA that did not get called, and it led
like
to
an
a
and
3.
one move.
I mean, yes, it was a hot sauce skip to my loose special. But yeah, so I mean, look, you can get mad about the referees because they missed that, and that led to a 3 that broke the tie. There was a really bad moving screen by Chet Holmgren as well. To put the Thunder up 5 with 30 seconds left. But honestly, again, that's a bit of misdirected anger, right? Because your offense had been better all night. And if your offense took care of business, then those calls would not have loomed as large as they did. Electric setting last night in the Smoothie King Center. But, I mean, you definitely understand why the Thunder are where they are and have been fighting for that 1 and 2 seed all year long. And they're kind of like right now, Jake, to me, they're made up very similar to the Pelicans, just a little more so, maybe, right? And it's funny because SGA and Zion actually play the same role. The ball handler who is going to drive, threaten you in the paint, and then dish to just a team full of shooters and wings around him. The only thing is the Thunder have even more shooting and even more wings, and then have the element of Chet Holmgren, who is that modern day 8-foot tall wing-based big man who can also threaten you from the outside. Like, there's a reason why Valanciunas didn't get to play in the second half, and it's because the Thunder just force you into that smaller lineup. Right. So credit to him, credit to OKC. I do not leave this game terribly disheartened because I feel like there are very obvious areas in which to improve, and I love the fight to make it a game.
Yeah, and you didn't have Brandon Ingram, and that needs to be pointed out. He's an all-star. And I think when you look at the flow of the game, at the end of the game, once it was tied and once the Thunder went on their 12-0 run, that's where you really miss Brandon Ingram the most. Yep. And C.J. McCollum is somebody that still has a lot left in the tank. I am not saying he is washed by any means, but he shot 3 of the 4 shots after they took the lead again when it was tied. He took 3 of the 4. I'm just not sure that's his role anymore. In fact, I am sure that is not his role anymore. You don't have a BI. It's like, who's going to take that shot? I would actually love for Trey Murphy to maybe be in that role.
Yes,
and
I agree with that.
That's something I think that they're missing when you don't have Brandon Ingram. You're looking for the killer, the sharpshooter at the end of the game when you're going shot for shot. After you tied at 112 and they're making their shots, who's going to make your shot? And again, CJ took 3 of the last 4 shots that they missed there, and they got to find somebody to be in that position.
Well, then, and the crazy part is that Zion didn't shoot. Zion barely even touched the ball, and we just mentioned it, right? Like both SGA and Zion operating in the same role, in that, like, they're the ones that make everything go for these offenses, right? Like, maybe Zion isn't taking the shot every time, but he needs to have the ball. He needs to be starting all the offensive movement, drive, use his gravity, and see where it, and then either the dish or try and score. So to get away from that, and the most important part of the game, especially after you've been doing it all game, kind of boggles the mind. I mean, he had 10 assists on the night. He's your leading scorer. I don't know exactly. I don't know basketball well enough to know what the Thunder did to force the Pelicans into that, but it's just wild to me that they completely went away from what has been their identity all the second half of this season, and even their identity during this game and during the comeback.
Yeah, and I felt like you rushed some shots as well. I'm trying to think how much time was left. It was a little under 2 minutes, and when Zion comes up with a steal, and you're still only down 3, and he passes it to CJ, immediately throws up like a 26-footer.
Yeah.
You know, those are moments where you have to play a little bit smarter down the stretch, and you still have plenty of time, and so you get a steal. You don't need a 3 right there. Yes, you're down 3, but you don't need a 3. You got a minute and 45 seconds left in the game, so you'd like to see them take that opportunity. You still can go to the rack, get 2, be a 1-point game, and so they just did not handle the end of the game situation after making this epic comeback. The Thunder were able to handle it, and the Pelicans weren't. And that's kind of one of those last couple of things that we're talking about with this team to make them the team that we know they can be. And I think we know they can be that team.
Yeah, and Zion talked about it after the game, needing to, can't kind of disappear like that offensively, needing to be more involved. But I'm not gonna lie. It stings because it really felt like you had the dub when you went up 5. I mean, you're seeing it right now in studio. It felt like all the momentum in the world. What a comeback. Skeletons uniforms popping off. Smoothie King Center was absolutely electric. Playoff atmosphere. And so for it to slip through your fingers hurts, but it's fixable. It's fixable. And again, it's a consistent problem, which maybe does not bode well for the playoff streak because, I mean, can you fix it this late if it's been that obvious all year? But if we go back to what Larry Nance was talking about, how do you build a successful program that stands the test of time? It's with consistent improvement over time. And it's like, well, if nothing else this offseason, you have such a clear area in which to focus on, and it's how to execute offensively down the stretch. How do you keep the production up in those final couple of minutes, what you showed for the first 46 minutes? So it sucks. But, hey, you can't feel bad for yourself because Milwaukee's up next.
Yep.
Okay, so Giannis Antetokounmpo and company coming to town. Is that Friday?
They're coming off a disappointing loss because they kind of in the same situation that the Thunder were in. They were up big on the Lakers, but the Lakers were able to come all the way back.
Yeah, so just a couple of teams going to be looking for revenge
That's
tomorrow.
Going to be tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thursday night, Bucks Pelicans in the Smoothie King Center. Lock in. Okay, when we get back here on Off the Bench, we'll get to your comments if you have any thoughts on Pels Thunder. And then we'll also, again, I want to get into the baseball game last night, the sound from this LSU football team, some transfer news. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Get Gordon, get it done. 225-888-8888. 225-888-8888. That's the number to call if you get in an accident and you need somebody who's going to fight for you. Somebody who's going to stand up to the big insurance companies and get you what you deserve. You can go online at getgordon.com and see all the different types of cases they handle. You can also see real results from real people right there on the site. But we're a sports show, right? You probably love sports. Well, guess what? A lot of your favorite athletes on the G team. Maybe you saw Hayden Travinsky go yard last night. He's the latest member of the G team. Maybe you saw the women's basketball team make the Sweet 16. They all on the G team. Okay, so get Gordon, get it done, and join the G Team yourself. GetGordon.com.
Yeah, go to that website to see what they can do for you in the courtroom and see past client results. Also, remember, anywhere in the state of Louisiana, you put your area code followed by 888-8888. That's GetGordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has $7,500 off MSRP on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks. $7,500 off plus 1.9% financing for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart...
Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR, presented by Pluckers. It's LSU Pro Day. We'll have all the recap, and we'll take a look at LSU baseball against Southeastern and the Pels game against the Thunder. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Always. Shout out, Blank. What up, dude? It's probably why I have such a dirty mouth. Mark, Tom, and Travis live. I blame you, and I blame Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. All right, guys. Well, we are losing guests left and right. Flynn is out. No Flestering today. Devin Snow, despite saying, can we do Wednesday this week? I got meetings this morning. There's a doctor's appointment now, he's telling me. So the Rats are leaving the ship, if you will. Taylor, would you want to go ahead and go now, too, as well?
Can I?
Speaking of rats.
I can go?
Yeah, you can get out of here.
Yeah, sure. I'm already closest to the door. That works.
Bring nothing to the show. Get out of here. I'm sorry. I'm taking out misdirected upsetness at you.
Not surprised.
That's true. Thank you for being my emotional sponge to just sop me up here.
I mean, Flynn, you were doing so well at the beginning of this year. I mean, you made it like 8 straight weeks or something like that, maybe 7.
I had a new open for him and everything.
Wow. What a
Delete
bum.
it. Delete it. It's gone.
Does My High even hydrate you?
It was
we're
like a
asking the
My High
question.
based open too.
Damn. Well, what are you gonna do? What are you
Man,
gonna do?
What event did I do recently where I wore a My High hat because I was like, oh, this would be good for My High. Like some big event. I don't even remember what it was, like 2 weeks ago. Big mistake by me.
Champ says this team can't beat good teams. The depth is the reason. We're going on to say that, quote, deepest bench in the league had less than 20 points combined. Well, okay. You're always going to have an off night. Okay.
Also, Trey is in the starting lineup.
Well, and that was going to be the main point, right?
Yeah.
Is that when we're talking about the deepest bench in the league with a healthy BI, Trey is coming off of the bench, right? And that is going to be your main scoring output in that regard there. In terms of not beating the good teams, I mean, you just smoked the Miami Heat in their house. And I don't think that you reach the record that you have without beating the good teams. So, yes, look, will they still struggle to maybe square up with the best in the NBA? Yeah, but it's a process, man, and I'm here for the process. They're gonna get a couple nice ones during this home run. Daniel Basham, wow, the show's falling off. I'm going over merge for Sam and Jody. Yeah, there you go. The rats keep on leading. Straubskill says Pels don't have one fourth quarter comeback win all season. Not a good look with the playoffs coming up. If that is true, which I find hard to believe, but maybe that's why it is true. That's kind of shocking, but it is indicative of exactly what we talked about, right? The problem with the clutch scoring. They've been very good at holding on to leads. What do we say? 30 double-digit wins this year for the Pelicans. So good at separating late. They got to find a way to win these closer battles. Okay, last thing on the Pelicans. Dyson Daniels getting close to returning. Yep. He will be playing in Birmingham tonight for the Squadron, and of course he's coming off of that meniscus surgery, and then depending on how he looks, how he feels, he'll be making his way back sooner rather than later. So that's good.
Yeah, it's good news. That's very good news. That's 2 good injury updates from the Pelicans. Obviously, Brandon Ingram not having a torn ACL because it looked awful here. When we watch it in studio, him only having a bone bruise, you can rest him now. I don't know that you can, rest him as much as you want because of the schedule that you have coming up and because the teams that are kind of right there in that cluster with you are on the schedule. So you might have to be a little bit more aggressive than you normally would.
Daniel Blunt says we need BI back. Look, I mean, again, and that's kind of what Jake was just getting at. The only thing I would say is, do you need BI to avoid the play-in? I mean, your schedule looks pretty daunting. Maybe you do. I don't think you do. I think you can avoid the play-in with the squad that you have right now. And so if it means waiting and letting BI get like 100% for the playoffs, that's what I would care and prioritize more. But we'll see where these next few games goes. Again, what are we down to, 9 or 10? 10 games? 10 games left. Every single game matters from here on out. Mostly going to be against really good teams. Mostly all at home. So don't get too down about this one. All right, LSU baseball. Oh, well, actually, let me tell you first about our friends over there at Accutemp. Accutemp at Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com. You need AC, heat, and electrical needs? You want to go with Accutemp. The customer service is unparalleled, y'all. There's a reason why their reviews are so astounding. You can go on the website. You can schedule online. You can start to explore the different services they offer you. I tell you all the time, if you need a whole home generator, they're your answer. You get that free estimate today. But they say service to the highest degree, and that is at the core of everything that they do. I just wish I had some way of making you trust me when I talk about their service, because I'll never forget the first time we used them. My wife was like, oh my God, like unbidden, didn't listen to the show, didn't know there was their tagline, and Unbidden just could not stop talking about how good the customer service was. So that's who you need to take control of your comfort zone. Accutint Baton Rouge, AccutintBR.com. Fonz, wait, why does T-Bob look like he's a cop in Vice City or Miami Vice?
Well, that's what I said when he came into the show.
It's Easter.
Don Johnson, look at that.
Look, these are all Easter colors. I got like a little pastel blue. Got some white pants on, white shoes. It's the season, if you will, springtime. I think I'm going on vacation with the family this weekend for Easter, and one of the place we're going has a bunch of activities, and one of the activities is a human piñata.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what it says on the schedule. Human piñata. Which, what does that mean? And then I started thinking, well, speaking of reason for the season, maybe it's ritual human sacrifice, which is actually the exact reason for said season. So I don't know. I will report back when I learn what the human piñata is.
Like, do you beat it until candy comes out?
That's not normally what comes out for me, but I'll like I said, I'll
did they pre-stuff? Did they pre-stuff
the human? Yeah, exactly. I don't know, guys. I have no idea. It just
you had a procedure where nothing comes out of you, but
it just says no. It's still.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's just not.
Where are you going?
The science there. Going to Mexico. We're going to Mexico. Alondra.
You going to the family house?
Yes. Call upon your background here.
Okay. Let me.
Have you ever heard?
Put my sombrero on.
Have you ever heard of a human piñata?
I've never heard of a human piñata before, ever. We did do plenty of like actual piñatas, but I've never heard of a human one.
Okay.
You know, like on Napoleon Dynamite when he's like, I don't know what y'all do in Mexico.
Chat, y'all need to relax. Okay, y'all need to relax. This is saying vacation again. Another vacation.
I know.
T-Bob the New Flynn. It's vacation season for T. Haven't you talked crap about Hester taking vacations? Wow.
Wait, you taking crap about me?
No, that's what I'm saying. Let's be painfully clear. A, you have never caught me talking crap about vacations.
I was about to say.
Ever. I am the ultimate. Get the hell out of here. You do not live to work. You work to live. Okay? So miss me with that. Secondly, yeah, guys, we don't travel during football season. Okay?
No, we don't.
We barely
So a year's worth of whatever vacation you're allowed is going to get jammed up into 6 months. So guess what? I got more coming. Okay? So miss me with that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Cannot wait to see what the human piñata is.
Also, like, y'all haven't been out in a while. The last person that was out was Jake, and he was covering the Super Bowl back in early February.
But T-Bob just went on like 2 bachelor parties, but
did I miss time for the bachelor
parties?
One day. One Friday. Exactly.
I don't even remember you missing.
No, I'm not saying like you missed days. I'm saying you did go on a vacation.
Let's be clear. The F-boy spring that I've randomly found myself in 35 is going to roll right along.
And I love it.
Like I am very soon
I'm here for the F-boy
You need
spring.
a fade though.
Yeah, the fade is going to be like.
Oh my God, I just realized I'm probably going to have like the fade in Vegas or something.
Ooh, that's not a good Dead and Company vibe.
Not at all,
the
dude.
fade.
Not at all, especially not when I have this excellent kind of hippie-esque hair right now.
Yeah.
Oh, lame.
Dang, you can't push it?
What? No. I promised to Snaps listeners because I've already pushed it for my little brother's wedding, which I have to officiate, so I can't go. I can't push it even later. I told him the week after the wedding that I will be getting the F-boy fade.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I tell them I will not be getting a chin strap beard though.
No.
That is a step too far.
Way too far.
Yeah, we were trying to get.
I'm trying to look like I'm from Lafayette.
I think we were trying to get Instagram followers like 2-3 years ago. I don't remember. And we fell like a little short of the number. Thank God, because we were going to have to get Barry Bonds dangle cross earrings.
Yeah, I'm
let's
really
do it
glad
again.
we know.
Let's do one.
The more I thought about
right
that,
now,
it was
let's do
so
one.
stupid
so
that
bad.
y'all ever tried to force us to do that. I don't
It was
know.
Danny.
I know.
Yeah.
That's because Danny wanted
I think he really wanted
a
one.
dangling cross earring.
Danny would definitely get a dangling cross
Yes.
earring.
And so I think
That
he
is
wanted
super
one,
dangerous.
so he like put a number on it, and we didn't get there. And so thank God, because we would have.
My wife just texted me trying to say, you are not doing a fade. It will take years to grow your hair back.
Yeah.
Well, first off, that's not how hair works. That's
Like,
not
can't
true.
she veto this?
No.
Everybody?
No, but it won't take years to grow back. Secondly, she accidentally tripped up into a double negative. She said, you aren't not doing a fade. So, sorry, babe. You literally just told me I have to.
You just told him he has to get a fade. But
Could have been a typo.
Yeah, but he's got it in writing now.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Edit it right now. Edit it. You can edit text.
You better screenshot that thing.
Edit text.
But yeah, no, the F-Boy summer's rolling right along. I am going to Vegas in the Sphere to see Grateful Dead.
Who are you doing that with?
The partners, the boys,
Nice.
if you will. Yes. So that's yeah.
If you will, no, yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So
that's real shady.
Get it
Whoever's
ready.
in that group,
Get
real
ready.
shady.
If you will.
Is John Mayer going to be dead?
Yeah.
It's Dead and Company,
Yeah, it's
right?
Dead and Company.
Yeah,
it is Dead and Company. It's supposed to be their last time.
I
Who
love
knows
John
if it's their last
Mayer.
time, right? But we'll see.
The fade with the broccoli top. Can you imagine if T-Bob got a perm?
My 14-year-old has that.
They all have it.
My wife texted me 2 bachelor trips and a Vegas boys trip. That's a 2 F-boy spring. I know. Okay, I know. Relax. Anyway,
relax. She could veto this whole thing.
Right.
What?
Somebody says what can hear.
No, larger forces are in motion than any of us can control.
If you
it's
will.
It's like how I talk about it's like how I talk about people who want to complain about NIL and everything. I'm like, these are just market forces. Or like how much college football is changing. It's changing because of giant economic forces that are way beyond any of our control. In that same way, I don't even want a party like this. I'm just being forced to. I'm like a leaf caught in the wind, if you will, a piece of driftwood in the salty ocean, just floating through the Atlantic. Okay, I can't help it. Sorry.
I love that your wife, Caitlin, is listening to this segment right now, though.
But she understands. You know, what am I supposed to do?
Doesn't sound like she does.
What am I supposed to do? And now the speech bubbles are back. All right.
Taking a break.
Yep. Taking a break, Chipper. All right,
Off
let's
the
go to
bench
break.
with Hester and T-Bob.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. She says, you are going to be the human pinata. 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org is the website. 925-8552 is the number. They've been at it for 50 years, y'all. So you're not going to be able to hit them with any plumbing problem that they don't know how to solve. Also, they got flat rate pricing. So no like surprise or hidden fees jacked up on the back end out of nowhere that you can't explain. They're licensed, bond insured. They send you information ahead of time about who's coming into your home. 24/7 emergency service and a massive fleet. So like, look, they are there for you whenever you need them. CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org.
And you go to that website, you'll see what they can do for you as far as the remodel game. If you're looking to remodel your home or your business, they've got you covered. If it's your house, obviously they can come in and fix your issues and give you an upgrade there, but also your business. The fleet is always ready to go. Find them online, centralplumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off the new 23 Ram 1500 SCA truck. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $22,500 off the new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques, Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded.
Dance continues this Thursday night at 6 and Friday night at 6 in the Sweet 16. Then Saturday at 5 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m. in the Elite 8. Listen to the 2024 men's basketball tournament right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Mark says, I don't know what's going to be worse, the fade or when you wouldn't shave or cut your beard for you. I mean, the beard and hair thing was ridiculous. I saw pictures of myself the other day, and it was really, really absurd. So the fade can't be worse than that. I don't think, at least. But, like, what if I get the fade and then the next day I show up in, like, a tap-out shirt? The day after that, I'm like suddenly all spray tanned up. Day after that, Jake opens the bathroom and I'm injecting steroids into my butt. It just becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy where
if
all
I
of a
see
sudden
you
I'm
walk
like a
in
UFC
here
bro.
with a buckle bag, we're done.
Yeah.
Can't have it.
I'm going to try my best to fight against the guys, but again, leaf on the wind, you know, just flowing with the breeze, if you will. Hey, my daughters are listening. Love you, Odie. Love you, Alice. Have a great day at school, y'all. All right, let's get into a little baseball. And by the way, we're going to preview LSU Pro Day as well. We get into our football talk a bit later. Also, Jake got to sit down with some of the Pro Day participants yesterday, so we'll hear what he learned there as well. Also, we have an absolutely absurd story probably for hour number 3 on the new St. Tammany coroner, Christopher Tape, who it started out as comedic when I was reading about it. Then it got depressing. Then it got so dark as to be comedic once again. Needless to say, though, I would want to say this once an hour probably. But that dude is a degenerate and an idiot and should absolutely not be the St. Tammany coroner. But whatever, we can get that. And before all you are like, yeah, liberal. I'm not. It's Republican lawmakers and elected officials that are saying this. It's actually all elected officials, but whatever.
I missed that.
Bro, it's in hour 3. It is. I got in a deep hole today, and it gets greasier and greasier the deeper you go. So we'll get to that a bit later on. Baseball, Southeastern last night. This is a good Lions team, dude.
Yeah,
very good Lions team. Baseball takes care of business 8-4. I don't know that I have a ton of takes on the game itself. Like I said, it's weird thing where, or not weird, it's understandable, but like after losing an SEC series and looking at the daunting task in front of you, Winning in the midweek is kind of like, okay, good. That's what you needed to reset and get some confidence, but it's not going to make anybody, like everybody, okay, you hit a home run here. Why don't you do it on the weekend? What I did love last night, Lynn was on fire. Lynn Rollins was on absolute fire. Two of my favorite quotes from the night, one of them, that sky is the color of a glacier freeze Gatorade, which it was. It absolutely, if you know, you know. That beautiful, wonderful light blue. I don't think anybody's ever applied glacier freeze Gatorade to sky observations. And then did y'all hear the Hayden Travinski home run call?
Yeah. He said witness protection program.
Yes, that ball's going into the witness protection program. No one's going to find it. But then the best part is they immediately cut and a guy's holding up the ball.
Found it.
Yeah, because it went like a mile in the sky, but it didn't leave the stadium. But and then a good pucker up, and you could tell that maybe it's allergy, something. You know, our boy's voice. He was fighting through some pain, playing hurt. But shout out Lynn Rollins, setting the table, getting the confidence back for this LSU baseball team ahead of this weekend series. Taylor, actually, can you go on the highlights and give me the Travinski home run
Just
call?
thinking, my man Lynn saying nobody's gonna find it.
And then, so yes, Taylor, go to the highlights of the game and you can see it because it's incredible. Right after wait a second, no one's gonna find it, and then immediate comedic camera cut to a guy in the stands like, hey, I got the ball.
LSU threw 8 pitchers. All right, so he threw 8 guys, and I think you need to start to find somebody you can trust on the weekend. If your starter doesn't have it, if you're in a Sunday situation and you're like, hey, we're down a run, we're down 2 runs maybe even, we got to stop it right here, they can't score anymore, I think you're looking for that person, depending on how you use your bullpen on Friday and Saturday, because you've got talent down there. And Cam Johnson, somebody that we saw throw an inning last night. And, look, he has an 11 ERA, so I realized that. But remember his first outing, he had all the walks and all the runs there. So you're trying to find maybe some arms that you can trust in weekend situations. Now, Samuel Dutton started this game. I don't think that he's ever going to be that guy, certainly. I mean, he's been here a long time now. I kind of know what he is. But you tried Cade Anderson on the weekend. Didn't really work out. He comes back, and he's strong here. So
I mean, Cade, you can't get away from Cade on the weekend, though. You got to keep out of all the midweek guys, I still feel like he's earning the most opportunity on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, he had one this last weekend. So.
No, I know, but I'm saying I feel like I'm not just because of one bad weekend outing, I'm not going to write him off.
Right? No, for sure.
I still think that give him more opportunity, and I still think that he can do well in the SEC.
Yeah, he's somebody that is a young player that looks like eventually he'll be more than counted on down the stretch, and just trying to figure out his way right now.
Yeah, and look, I know Eloa gives up the home run, but I still think he has a role to play, certainly lower. So, I mean, look, Jay said it. They're going to continue. There is. He basically said in his press conference in the coaches show, there is playing time to be had on the mound in the weekend, but these midweek games are where you're going to set the table and go earn it. So who do you felt kind of earned it last night? Did anybody move? It kind of feels like the usual suspects. Again, Anderson, Loa. Did anybody move in there that you maybe weren't thinking about before?
I don't think Cam Johnson's there. I don't think he's still
progressively
4 or 5 appearances away probably. But just knowing how talented he is, if they can get him to a point where you're getting to the middle portion of your SEC schedule and you start to throw him out there in those high leverage situations, right? I think that could be a goal for LSU, because if the talent's there, right, and you're continuing to see him get better, then you have to go and give him an opportunity.
His breaking ball looked really good last night.
Yeah.
Micah Bucknam stands out to me a lot.
What did he go for? 1 1/3 last night. Gave the 1 hit, 2 Ks. Somebody who seems to be improving. I'll see what Jay does coming up this weekend against Arkansas. Which now look, good job. You took again. This is Southeastern team. I think like 17-6 overall or somewhere around there. Like a very good team, at least for a midweek game. You take care of business, and now you just have to find a way. I mean. We talked to Musso when we were on remote on Monday, and I think kind of winning one is almost the goal for this weekend, which maybe that's a bit defeatist for some of y'all, and that's fine. The goal should always be to win the series, but you got to get the one. You got to get one. And Jake, it's going to be intense in that stadium. Razorback fans, after a subpar basketball season, after a couple of great years, after a football season in which they're just in complete shambles, program seems years away from being good again, this is all they got.
They got baseball and track.
And they good. And they love, and so do I, because I hate the Hogs. They love beating LSU. So you got to find a way to get one this weekend.
Yeah, I would say that they like beating LSU more than they like beating any other team.
Yeah.
I think LSU's been a big brother to Arkansas in almost every single sport, right outside of track. And LSU's, not bad at track either. They've been right there with them at times. So, yeah, you're going to get that stadium at an 11. And you're right. You want to win the series, but you can't get swept. Like, that can't happen. And then, so when you have the starting pitching that I think LSU is going to have in the first 2 games of the series, you have to take advantage of whatever you get in one of those games. And they're still toying with the lineup. They're still trying to figure out who the leadoff hitter in this lineup. You had a different one last night. And I don't know. I don't even know who to tell Jay Johnson to put at the top of the lineup. I mean, Paxton Kling didn't even get a chance to hit last night. No. I mean, he came in as a pinch runner, right? He's batting 200 right now. And that was the guy that you thought coming into the year was going to be at the top of your lineup all season long. And then you drop Mac Bingham down, and he goes 3 for 3. He's batting over 300, but he feels like someone that is going to do better in that portion of the lineup and not maybe as a leadoff hitter, although he didn't have a bad weekend. So is Mac Bingham going to be your leadoff hitter? Whoever it is, they got to find a table setter.
Yeah.
Because last night, you go 0 from 4 from that position again. So that to me is something that they've got to get figured out, because you're talking about Tommy White. You've batted him second, you've batted him third, you've batted him cleanup. You got Bear Jones, you got Hayden Travinsky. You've got guys that can knock runs in, but you have to have the table setter, and they just don't have that right now.
Yeah, and then even yesterday before the game, we talked about how Ethan Fry needs to be in the lineup every night. He's been doing so well, and then last night they tried that, and it goes over. Need to get a walk, but over at the top.
Michael Braswell always finds a way to get on base every single game.
Yeah, is it surprising having with the tear that he's been on? I guess his average of the season is still 274 though. I don't know.
But since SEC play, he's batting 300, and he's the only one who's batting that well since we've gotten an SEC play.
Yeah, we need to do an SEC only numbers segment, because I don't think they're very good through 2 weeks.
No.
It's pretty depressing.
Also,
at the plate.
Like all of Arkansas starting, like the bulk of their bullpen all have a below 3 ERA.
Type.
All of them.
No good.
Hey, all that means is there's nowhere for that ERA to go but up.
Right.
After the Tigers take care of it this week. We'll see.
Yeah.
Would y'all, I know Stephen Milam, and now he did great last night, and I know he's been struggling in SEC play, but still doesn't strike out a ton. Only 13 strikeouts on the year.
Yeah.
Would that be somebody that y'all would just put at the top of the lineup, just knowing you're at least going to get a quality at bat? You're going to get somebody that has the speed to be a leadoff hitter. If you're not getting on base, and if you're striking out, if you have Paxton Kling in that spot, wouldn't you want to try somebody else that is at least going to give you a quality at bat? Paxton Kling has 22 strikeouts in 65 at bats.
I would say yes to Milam just because he looks like a leadoff guy. Just got that tiny little body, little speedster, but no, I don't know. I don't know if there's a great answer right now, So I could say yes to almost anybody, because sure, try him out, and whoever succeeds, and just ride him until you can't.
Mac Bingham went 4 for 4 last night, didn't he?
3 for 3.
3 for 3.
Yeah.
And he finds a way to get on base too, but
I know, and I like him in the the kind of the back end of the lineup, just because he gives you something there where it's not a dead spot in the lineup, but you might, out of necessity, you might have to move Mac Bingham to the leadoff role.
But this is also kind of the deal, right? Like everything we're talking about is midweek, and then it's like, oh, but do it on the weekend.
Right.
So,
Mac had a couple of nice at bats on the weekend as well.
Yeah, he did.
Who's got the highest on base percentage? I think Travinsky maybe on the team right now. We got to go to break. We're running over. Let's go to break. Sorry, kind of lost track of the clock here. When we get back, we'll close out hour 1.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Papers, go to Tommy's. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. GEAUX, Tommy's.com. You go to Tommy's, you're going to see the difference clearly, okay? It's tax return season. Why not reinvest in your biggest asset, your home? With some brand new, beautiful doors, any type of door, Tommy's got you. You need some wood or vinyl windows, Tommy's got you. What about some hardy plank or vinyl siding? Tommy's got you. And when you're talking about how Tommy separates, let them prove it to you. Just make them one of the bids on your project, okay? Make them a bid and let Tommy and the boys show you their service and why they're next level. GEAUXTommys.com.
And when you go to that website, you'll see exactly what we're talking about. There is a gallery of what they've done, past client results as well, right there on the website. Give them a call today, 225-250-8808.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day.
Never made it as a wise man. I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. All right, so here are your conference-only batting averages for your LSU Tigers. Still, it's a 6-game sample, but Braswell batting .333 with an on-base percentage of .520. I mean, maybe at a certain point,
That's a pretty good
exploring him at
OBP.
the top. Josh Pearson, .320, on-base .346. Hayden Travinsky, .300, on-base .440. And that's all your threes. Jared Jones, 270. Tommy White, just 240 right now in conference. Mac Bingham, 222. Stephen Milam, 111. So, again, maybe you put him at the top, but that doesn't feel great. And then Brady Neal, an impressive 0 in 15 at-bats.
Yeah.
0. Like not a 0 point something.
0.
Well, yeah, 0.0.
Yeah. 0.000. Has yet to get a hit in SEC play.
Pearson actually got better in SEC play.
Yeah.
And Braswell.
Yeah.
And Braswell
both
too.
of them.
Yeah, both of them.
So maybe those would be guys to just give a chance at least. Now, Ethan Fry, in more limited appearances, is at 429. Alex Milazzo has only had 4 at-bats, but he came up with 2 hits in it for whatever that's worth. I mean, everybody else's sample sizes are so small that it doesn't matter. Another disappointing number, Paxton Kling in 10 at-bats, 0.
My thing is like, just get on base. Yes. Like, put the ball in play, take a walk, get hit by the pitch, get on base. Like, don't go up there swinging. Just
No, you have to know thyself.
Yeah.
Like, if you're Paxton Kling, there's a runner on third, there's 1 out. You got to get the ball in play.
Ooh, team ERA of 8.20. I mean, that's what double rule run Sundays will do to you. It's not like wholly indicative of where the staff is at.
100%.
But I'm not going to lie, y'all. These conference-only statistics are a bit darker than I thought they were going to be. Yeah. I mean, you lose 2 series, it makes sense. I don't want to make too much of it, but that's a bit depressing, if you will.
I think like maybe so. I like Braswell, but maybe Pearson for his speed. He's pretty fast.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm not a coach.
Damn
well,
it.
I can't get
Still didn't get to the Lynn call.
Got to get
to it next hour.
Better than it was. That's the thing. Give you someone that's going to give you a competitive at-bat in that spot.
Yeah, and right now in SEC play, that seems like Braswell and Pearson. If you're just being a slave to the numbers, we'll see if they end up exploiting that this week. And Hour 2 Vote to Be coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Trash Rangers, trashsignup.com, trashsignup.com. You go there today. In just 3 minutes, you select your cans, you see your pickup days, and your prices. Okay, and you make the switch. If you're in Livingston or Central Parish, you have a choice. Okay, so you're not forced to deal with these national companies like some of us are due to where we live, where these national companies that take the profits out of the state, but keep the trash here. No, at Trash Rangers, those profits, they're funneled back into your community through churches, local sports teams, because they're here. And there's a level of customer service that is you're just not going to get anywhere else here. So you see the red cans at your neighbor's house, join them by going to trashsignup.com.
When you go to that website, you'll see in the top left corner all the reviews and the ratings. I mean, 4.7 out of 5. You are going to love their service. 225-401-0838.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Wednesday, March 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 69. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk some LSU football and the latest around the NFL. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's up, man? Welcome in, hour number 2 of OTB. If you're watching youtube.com/1045 ESPN. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to get in and comment. We could do some pro day this hour. We got some football player sound to get to. We've been continuing to look at team rankings now in the conference only games. How deep do we want to? I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's 6 games. We were talking about small sample sizes. But through 2 weekends, LSU 11th in batting average at 236. For what it's worth, Arkansas also at 236. They are 9th in on base percentage, 12th in runs scored, 10th in hits, 12th in ribbies. You get it, right? It's not great. And then here we go in ERA right now, LSU 12th with that 8.20 ERA. That would be the big separators. Arkansas is currently first in the conference at 2.21. LSU's allowing opponents to hit over 300. They're 11th there. That's one of 4 teams to do that. So, yeah, it's not been good in conference. Got to try to get it fixed this weekend against Arkansas, at least as much as you can. Do you have my Lynn Hayden Travinsky home run call from last night, Taylor?
I do.
All right. Well, give me that with sound because we need to flip the vibes here a little bit. Get a little levity, a little happiness in the room. And think Lynn's going to be a great pathway to starting that journey.
Got hit 3 times. This ball is smacked very high, very deep. That ball has gone into the witness protection program. Nobody's going to find it. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye.
Oh, hell yeah. Excellent call. And if you're just listening on radio, right after no one's going to find it, a perfectly timed comedic cut to the fan in the stands triumphantly holding up Hayden Travinsky's moonshot. 391 feet, but that thing went high. That thing went high as hell, man. All right. Let's talk a little football, Jake. LSU Pro Day today. First off, and we're getting into some transfers as well. You were over talking to the Pro Day members. You got to sit down with Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr. Obviously, all eyes on this pro day as at the combine. None of these guys did anything. Or did
Brian Thomas did.
Brian Thomas did. No, Brian Thomas
ran
did.
a 4.3.
No, Brian Thomas dominated. But Malik Neighbors, Jaden Daniels, not working out the combine. So today's going to be their day to kind of put their best foot forward for all the NFL scouts. What do you think sitting down with them yesterday? How do the boys feel like they're in what kind of form are they in mentally?
I think great form, and I think Malik Neighbors more than anybody else. I'm excited to see what he does today. Now, I don't think he's going out there and doing like the 3-cone and the 20-yard shuttle, the 60-yard shuttle, which the 60-yard shuttle's dumb anyway. Yeah. But I think he's like, I'm going to run 40, and then I'm going to do drills. And so I want to see, he's been working and waiting to run that 40. And with some of the times that we had in Indy, you got to pick them up and put them down. I mean, you had 4.3s all over the place.
True.
I mean, in low 4.4s, and so everybody is paying attention. And remember, Marvin Harrison Jr. is not running. He's just running routes. He's not doing any testing.
Did he already? Did that already happen, or he's just gotten out of heaven and said, I think
it might have even already happened. I know
Ohio State Pro Day already happened, not 100%, but yeah, he definitely did not run a 40 even.
Right.
He said, he told teams, apparently everything I've read is that, and actually I talked to your boy, Bobby C, about this, is that he talked to like the 8 or 9 teams that are interested in him, and they seemed cool with him not running a 40. He's like, all right, well, I'm just going to keep doing football drills.
Yeah, see, that seems odd to me because I've never known a team that's going to spend a top 10 pick on a receiver and be like, we're good. We're good. We'll watch the tape. Yeah, the tape is the story, but there's different analytics and there's different kind of metrics that we use to see, okay, well, what really is your speed? Like, I at least want to get a gauge on it.
Yeah, I agree that it feels odd. But again, he's talked to the teams about it. I guess he's interviewed well. And the other part about it, Jake, is, okay, if that's going to be the case, if you don't want to run a 40 or anything, what's the red flag? I think it becomes a question of work ethic. And, like, does this mean that he's not in shape? And then reportedly, like,
there would be a worry of entitlement a little bit to me.
Look, maybe. But I guess all I'm getting at is that reportedly, like, scouts, I've talked to the coaches, the strength staff, and that the anecdotal evidence on Harrison is that he's a very hard worker. So that it's not so there's not any concerns about him not doing this because he's not in shape. I mean, the thing is, like, it is such a kind of edge case to me because he's one of the rare people that could get away with this. Though, again, to your point, like, if Malik goes out there and runs a great number, that could potentially put him over Harrison because he chose not to run.
Yeah, and I think the tape tells that anyways. And so we can't come on here and say that without being, look at the homers. They're LSU guys. And I understand that. And so it's not even really worth putting out there. Like, I say it on Off Campus all the time. And we have a lot of Ohio State listeners because of Bobby and Ben Hartsock. And it's like, of course the LSU guy. That's not it, right? Like, I know Caleb Williams is going to be the first quarterback selected. So, like, that's not it. I watched the tape. And when I see Malik Neighbors, he is the best receiver in this draft. I would say he's the best in a couple of years. I think he's that kind of talent. Let's not forget, he's 20 years old. Malik Neighbors is still 20.
He's not even 21.
He's not even 21 years old yet.
That boggles the mind.
And so, like, just think about, he can even continue to grow even more.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I know I went to Evangel, but I turned 20, I think, my freshman year in May at the end of the year. He is 20 years old, T-Bob. And so this is
very
somebody.
Evangel from everything I've learned.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I think your school's
very
probably.
West Monroe. I think your
school's probably pretty close to that, too. John Curtis.
Fair. Yep.
I'm sure Catholic does it. Like we all do it.
Hey, look, man, you got to keep up with the Joneses, dude.
That's right. So if he goes out there today and he does what we think he's going to do, he has an opportunity to be the first receiver. Like, you're the leading receiver in LSU history, and you did it in 3 years.
Yeah.
So Josh Reed, Jets, Jamar, Dwayne Bowe, Buster Davis, all of these, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham.
Wide receiver, you could argue,
and you're the top.
Yet you went statistically superior
and there
over
is
everybody.
So there is like a humble confidence about Malik, talking with him yesterday. And that's really my first opportunity to sit down with him. I've had Jaden, I've had Brian Thomas Jr., and Jaden's kind of consistent in his interviews, and you know what you're going to get. Like, that's really my first time sitting down with Malik, and there was a humble confidence because it wasn't like he was like boastful about himself or whatever, but you could tell there was a belief that he had in himself that he was going to do all the things that we think he can do tomorrow. and he thinks he is the best receiver in this draft. Actually, he knows he's the best receiver in this draft. And so Chargers, don't screw this up. Take him at 5. But I want to see him today, here in a couple of hours, go out there, whatever his goal is. If it's to run a 4.42, go run a 4.42, because even that gets you drafted where you need to be drafted.
Does Jaden Daniels have more to lose or more to gain today? And I guess why I say that is, like, is he the clear number 2 right now between him and Drake May? It kind of feels like it's naturally being heading that direction, that it's Caleb Williams, and then it feels like it's Jaden Daniels after that. But maybe if he goes out here and doesn't throw well, like, does that change the calculus at all? I
think he has to have a good day. I think he has to go out there because J.J. McCarthy had a great pro day. Pro days are.
Well, you should do great. I mean, you're in comfortable environments and you're playing. That's why quarterbacks don't want to throw the combine unless they have to, because they're lesser guys. Yeah. Is like, you want to throw with the receiver. It's timing.
Jaden should have
Routes
a good day. These are his guys.
Yes.
These two receivers are his guys. And we talked about that yesterday. Like, you waited to go throw with your guys, and all 3 should have a big day. It is funny, and I don't think EJ would mind me sharing this. He sent me a text last night. We're on the show together a little bit later on today, and he was talking about Drake May at the time.
EJ Manuel.
Because he's an ACC network guy, and so he's seen a lot of Drake May. And he shot me a text last night, said, just finished watching Jaden versus Texas A&M, ... Yeah, he's going 2nd overall.
I mean, the A&M tape, as the defense was actively trying to smelt the Heisman Trophy, the way that he was able to take over that game in the second half. I mean, it's funny that EJ Manuel said that because, again, when we talked to Chase Daniel a few weeks ago on Snaps, that's the exact game he referenced just being blown away with as well, talking about how the consistency of those back shoulder throws that he was dropping in the bucket.
3 different receivers
are so tough to make one of those throws, much less that many in quick succession. And you almost, like, he was so consistent with it that you kind of almost started to take it for granted a bit. And so it's funny to hear that the quarterbacks, the guys who have been out there doing that in those battles, those are the ones who seem most impressed with Jaden Daniels' ability to throw the ball. Like, for Jaden, it is still, even though he got better at it this year, I think what's the one thing the NFL probably wants to see, and you're not going to answer this at pro day, is just going to be attacking the middle of the field more, right? And throwing with anticipation over the middle more. Now, he did it almost never at all last season, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
This last season, it was there more, but it still is not, it's still maybe the portion of his game that most has to take a step forward. But yeah, I mean, he feels like the second quarterback to me, and I feel like pro day is a great opportunity. If he throws it like he did in those games, he is going to wow some people with that arm talent today, and then he could go ahead and solidify himself.
Would you run the 40 if you were Jaden Daniels today, or would you let the tape against Florida speak for itself?
I mean, I would. How much training do you think he's? Because that's like the same thing with Marvin Harrison Jr. Again, training for the 40 is like training for track, not for football, right? And so,
when I was at API doing this for the combine, our head coach, was a former USA track coach.
Yeah.
To give you an example of what T-Bob's talking about, it wasn't a football coach; it was a former track coach for the U.S. relay team or something.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, if Jaden's been putting in the time, because I do feel that is a way that he could separate from everybody in the class and make really splashy, like, big impact. So maybe he's been committing time to getting ready to run in the run up to this, and he has, and absolutely go running, because I think you'll shock people. But if you haven't, I don't think it's needed because much like Marvin Harrison Jr.'s tape tells the story, Jaden's tape tells the story of his speed. Like you said, like, go turn on the Florida tape, and you literally have Gator players looking as if they're moving in slow motion.
Yeah. And again, like, my point all season long was, that's Florida DBs. Even if Florida was bad, which they were last year, we know what kind of athlete that they recruit
fast
at DB.
Yeah.
He wasn't pulling away from directional school or service academy. He's pulling away from Florida DBs.
Yeah, he had great numbers against Southern and everything, but this, was that 2 years ago? It doesn't matter. But this
is his first game in Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, that's right. But this was not that. That 50-yard Florida run may have been my favorite play of the entire year.
Even more than the 80-plus yarder.
Field. Yeah, because it was the middle of the field.
Yeah.
It wasn't just burning, turning up the sideline. It was just, again, everybody looked like they were moving in slow motion around him. Gulf South says, Isn't Caleb Williams 4.5 or 4.6? Ooh, is he really?
Did he run at his? I know his pro day has already taken place.
Yeah. He did, and he did well. But 4.5 seems bold for Williams. I would have him more in the high 4.6, low 4.7 range, if I had to guess.
The thing, and maybe, I don't know, we'll see if we can get a number on him, but I will say one of the things that people don't realize, like when everybody's like, he's a 4.6 guy, I don't think people realize how fast a 4.6. Like for somebody like Caleb Williams would be.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking receiver.
Really good
Keon Coleman
speed.
ran a 4.61, and we're talking bad about him. Like if Caleb Williams went out there and ran a laser 4.61, I'd be like, damn, okay.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, again, it's like you said, you got so many receivers putting out 4.3s nowadays. You got to keep up with the Joneses.
I don't know if this is from like Pro Day or if this is just them guessing, but there is NFLDraftBuzz.com has him as a 4.59.
Wow. Okay. If he busted
6'1", 214.
Yeah,
he's like 6'1". At least 6'2", but measured at 6'1".
Yeah. He's not particularly tall. But it seems like he's like guaranteed to go number 1 overall.
So
for whatever that's worth. I mean, they straight up had Keenan Allen out there at the pro day,
he lives
which
out
I've
there.
never heard about though.
He lives in LA, being a Charger, but yeah, I never heard of a guy going to a pro day like that. I had my oldest son Jackson went with me yesterday when I was interviewing all these guys, and Jackson's almost 6'1". He's 14. He's a monster. He's like 6'1", 240.
So I'm leaving school yesterday.
Yeah, he's a big fella. He's like, he tried to throw shade at Dad. He goes, "Is this what you feel like all the time?" Because he was around Jaden and Brian Thomas, who were taller than him. I was like, okay, little bro. All right, chill out.
Did he hit? He should have hit you with, "Is this how you feel around me?" Now that he's got you done passed you up.
Yeah, he's coming for you. Don't worry. I hope at least.
I mean, I'm going the opposite way. I'm probably shrinking, so he'll have a chance. All right. So pro day today. Again, I don't know. It's kind of weird, Jake. I don't think any of the big names have that much to be gained. But what I do love, and I was a beneficiary of this, so I can speak to this, because Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors did not test at the combine or do measurements, and because Brian Thomas is such an exciting prospect, as well as those other guys, there are going to be so many NFL guys here today that other players working out today will benefit. Do we have a full list of everybody who's working out? Because other players will benefit. Like the only reason why I got any opportunity to try to make the NFL was simply because the Rams had representatives there to watch, like, Tyron and everybody else.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to remember who the biggest names in my pro day were, but it was just like they were there to watch them, and then I did okay enough during the drills. Like, okay, whatever, we'll take it. We'll take like a undrafted shot at that guy, and so. I don't know that any of the big names are going to do anything except kind of confirm how good everybody already thinks they are, but you will have some of these lesser names who can really make an impact and potentially create a great opportunity for an NFL career.
Yeah, this pro day is for Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors because they didn't do anything in Indy. Now, Brian Thomas Jr., he can still go out there and have a good day and maybe help himself a little bit, but he's already helped himself. He already did that in Indy. His foundation is already laid.
BTJ's fine.
So, like, those two players, they're going to have every eyeball on them, but to your point, Mekhi Wingo and Charles Turner, Omar Spates and Mason Smith.
Massive day for Mason Smith.
Those are the people that are going to either gain something today or lose something today as well.
Well, and it's funny because we always could play with like somebody earlier said, like 12-game Mike Hawk.
He did not get you again.
I was trying to give credit to who had the take.
Again.
12 games should outweigh what you do in 12 hours in a pro day. You get the point. The funny part about the film, though, is, Jake, it cuts both ways. And we always get mad when we're like, why do teams care so much about the testing when you have all this good film? Well, if you're someone who has a lot of bad film, guess what? You can also get hooked up because of good testing, right? So if you're Mason Smith and your film is awful, which it is, but you go out there and you're like 6'5", 320, you run a great 40, you bench well, you move well. They're going to be like, oh, you know what? He just had bad coaching. I can make something of him, and he could get really juiced up by a great day today. So it really can help some of those people on the fringes or that don't have the tape that they want.
Pro day is different for everybody. It's different for everybody depending on what that team wants from you. I played 3 different positions at Pro Day.
Yeah.
There were some teams that wanted me to stay at running back and be a third down back, and so I did running back stuff. There were some, obviously, that wanted me at fullback. I did a lot of bag drills, blocking, lead blocking, kicking out a linebacker, all those type of things. And then there was some that like to have their running back out wide and do some different things as far as running different routes. And so I did that as well, and that was San Diego. San Diego wanted me as a fullback, and also they allowed me to go out wide sometimes.
Yeah.
Like we did that in the offense.
Balls.
And one time Champ Bailey had me one-on-one. I'm just saying. The Broncos knew what they had in front of them. So every team's going to want something different.
Do you think Champ felt like it was like slow motion?
Oh, dude, I was.
Like he was just kind of like.
I was out there, T-Bob.
Like
it was so funny. Because I was still a young player. It's probably like in year 2 for me. I'm out wide, and I'm like, oh, this isn't zone. Like normally if like Champ was out there, it'd be zone coverage or whatever. But I saw the linebacker because we went to empty, and I saw Sproles motion out, and they went linebacker on him. I'm like, oh, damn, y'all got Champ out here, man. Okay. All right. Then I just started talking trash because Champ Bailey is the nicest human being of all time and doesn't talk any trash.
Yeah, I saw that a little bit firsthand when he was on the Saints during that awful Greenbrier year.
Yeah. So me, I'm like, I'm talking trash.
Did
I'm
you
like,
cook him,
better
or
get
was
Champ
it a
out
running
here.
play? Could have been a running play.
No. It was a go route,
A go route?
It was a go route.
So he really was
I was
moving
clearing space.
Champ's just kind of lazily looking at the sky as he's like running alongside you, like,
the thing is, though, Champ, I'll dust your ass right now.
I bet you he's still fast. Maybe not.
Not Champ, though.
All-Star Toyota.
No, this Champ.
Oh, yes. Oh, Champ in the
Because
chat.
I'm waiting for him to pop off, too.
No. Get the hell out of here. All right, when we get back, more TV.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Sorry, we went very long that for a second. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
One segment.
All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. The website's a great resource for starting your journey. If you need a new vehicle, maybe you need a rent. Look, it's all there for you. They have Toyota Care on both the new and Toyota certified used vehicles, which is a great warranty where you kind of choose the level of the warranty coverage you want. But what it means is, like, a lot of times you go in to get your service, your checkups, and you don't even open the wallet. You're already taken care of. It's built into your monthly payment. It's a really good feeling. Again, if you're getting a new Toyota, you're probably going to get one of them hybrids. And guys, I cannot tell you how nice saving money is on gas, while also still being able to fill up at the pump, right? Not having to sit there and charge for 20 minutes or whatever. So go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Yeah, once you go to that website, you'll see everything they have available. Remember, everything's available buy new, leasing, or renting. Check it all out on the website, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off the new 23 Ram 1500 SCA truck. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $22,500 off the new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. Talking some football here in hour number 2. Let's get into some of this player sound from yesterday. We've talked about DJ Chester a lot on this program as he is taking over at center, the one new face on this offensive line. And look, I everything I've heard is really good. I love when he got thrown into that Missouri game at the end last year. He really acquitted himself quite well. And talking to some people in the program, the thing that I keep hearing about is that he's just very intelligent, right, in terms of making the calls, knowing everybody's role. This will be the first time. I have not listened to this. This will be the first time me hearing DJ Chester actually speak. Let's do Chester 1. This is him talking about taking over at center.
Ever since Missouri, it was really like the first time I actually got like a lot of playing time for real, going from a number 2 spot, 2 to 3 spot, and then getting thrown in Missouri. It's been fun. I had a lot of learning to do in these couple first 3 practices, but I'm just trying to step up in the Charles place and help be a leader and basically just step up and get that Jordan role.
Is he from Mississippi? Sounds like a Mississippi lilt there to me, but I that's a high pressure. I think it's kind of underappreciated. That's a high pressure position to be in, to be a freshman and during spring ball, Jake, being relied upon as being the #1 center. Now, it helps to have vets around you, but, like, that's the guy who has to make all the calls. And if he can't do it, well, then practice doesn't work.
He's from Georgia.
You don't even know your own people.
Oh, he's from Georgia. Wow.
Went to Eagles Landing Christian Academy in Georgia.
Classic. ELCA?
Yeah. Landing Christian Academy, yeah.
Conyers?
ELCA.
Conyers, Georgia? Do we know where that's at?
You're barking up the wrong geographical tree, bud.
You know,
I heard of Conyers. I don't know where it's at.
It is weird and wild. I feel like in Louisiana, and we're a smaller state, but I feel like we all know where every place is. Like you say a place, like big or small.
Direction, right? You could be like, well, that's an hour south of Shreveport.
I say that. I do say that. I do say that. People like from South Louisiana, like they get past Alexandria, maybe not, but you know nothing about Georgia.
Nope. Nothing.
Even like surrounding area of Atlanta, you're like, oh really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Nope.
Didn't you grow up in Atlanta? Like,
yeah.
Being from Shreveport, I know, Minden, Louisiana, Coshada, Natchitoches, like all these places, Blanchard.
I say it all the time.
This one, nothing.
I know more about the geography of Middle Earth than I do the state I grew up in. Here is DJ Chester, too, on what he learned from watching Charles Turner last season.
Basically, Charles just taught me at the center position, you got to lead, you got to communicate, you got to be the voice. And that's what I've been trying to do the whole spring. That's been my biggest learning curve so far.
And that's, again, intimidation's a word to keep going back to because you're right. The center does have to be a vocal leader, but you got Will Campbell and Emory Jones there. You got Garrett Dellinger right next to you, who started for 18 years now at this point. You got Frazier. So that's a lot to ask of a young guy. Finally, Chester saying the O-line wants that Joe Moore award again.
Going into this year, we really, every day, so in the weight room, we have the Joe Moore on every rack on the offensive line. So every time we lift, every time we do something, we're imagining that we finna go get it. And losing to Joe Moore last year really hurt us. It really stung us. So that's why we really want to go get it and prove to everybody out there that we deserved it last year. So that's why we're going to go get it this year.
They probably could have gotten it last year. I don't think they had the team success to get it last
year.
year.
I was trying to ask. Didn't they finish second in it? Weren't they a finalist?
They were definitely a finalist. I don't know if them or Michigan finished second because remember Michigan also felt slighted.
Oh yeah,
by and they showed
literally
you that
every offensive lineman on the carpet of the game when I'm doing post game said Joe Moore in some way, some fashion.
And it's funny, like a lot of times you don't. I don't know if I love a player's like focus being on, we want to win this trophy, but with an offensive line this good, it's legitimately in play for LSU and this O-line. And really kind of comes down to, okay, how DJ Chester going to do. And they're going to have to find more team success. I know that's crazy and that doesn't make any sense. But like even when they won it in 2019, they probably weren't strictly the best offensive line, but they were the best offensive line on the best team. It's a bit like how Washington was last year. They're all very good line. But again, I would actually have taken LSU over anybody last year, maybe save for Michigan.
The offensive line this year is the strongest position group on the team.
Yeah, and it's not close.
It is deep. It has got young players that are coming in that can be the next great offensive lineman. That is a position that Brian Kelly told us when he first got here was going to be better and have a much better foundation than it had at that time. And it certainly has had that. So you're starting over at center, but at least it's someone who has had some experience against a tough SEC team on the road. But T-Bob, you know this better than I do. When you have two veteran guards right next to you as well, that helps so many things for a center. It slows things down. If you're, pointing out the mic, maybe they can even help you. It's like, hey, no, go to 58. Like you can say those things on the line.
That's what I do kind of wonder is because I mean, basically when I played guard, I was still making the calls a lot of times. And so I wonder if he is, it sounds like he's making the calls though, from everything I've heard. But yes, you can always have the old
even
heads.
If it's like,
no, you can have the old heads out there. Yeah, like kind of overrule.
Or you can have the quarterback do it. There's many times in 2007 where Brett Helms and Matt Flynn were about to throw hands on the field because they were arguing over who the mic was.
See, that's crazy to me. I think you need a clear line. I think you need a clear hierarchy of power, right? You let the center call it, and the quarterback gets to overrule no matter what.
You've hung out with Matt Flynn before, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Brett should have ceded to Matt, is what I'm saying. Like, even if you think the quarterback is going against – I know it because I know Brett too. But even if you think the quarterback is technically wrong, the quarterback needs to – like, he's the one who needs to know – he has to make everything work in his mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, direct me. Okay, if you want us to do this, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's where the pressure's coming from. But if that's how you need to interpret this play, like, we all need to be – it's a classic – you'd rather have 11 guys doing the wrong thing than 10 guys doing the right and one doing the wrong. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're going to establish all that during this spring period. All right, when we get back, we still got to get to a wide receiver visiting the New Orleans Saints. In hour 3, we got that insane story out of St. Tammany to get to. We didn't touch on the influencer yesterday either, did we? So maybe we get to a couple of those in hour 3. Hit the like button, y'all. Keep it locked right here, youtube.com/1045ESPN.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction. PECbuilt.com. PECbuilt.com. You want pools? You need outdoor living space like an outdoor kitchen or something, fences, pergolas, it's all there. They have thousands of projects already under their belt. You go to PECbuilt.com and you look at the gallery. It's really stunning, y'all. And look, they do complete custom pool jobs as well if you want, but I want to talk about spec pools, which is where you have a few different templates that you choose from, detail work around the edges that you choose. In that process, you make it your own, right? What you want. And then in just 2 weeks, you have a pool. So you want to beat the heat this summer, make your dreams come true. There's financing option available. You can pay for it all up front. The bottom line, though, you want to work with Pinnacle. PECbuilt.com.
Yeah, what we're talking about here, I promise you, is just not lip service. I mean, this is true, and I can tell you because it happened just 2 houses down from me. They're in, they're out. You are swimming in 2 weeks. 2 weeks' time, PECbuilt.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. Alondra, do you have all the audio pulled up? Not for the football players. I missed this Jay Johnson audio earlier.
Yeah, I have it.
Can you give me Jay Johnson 4, what he hopes to see this weekend?
Yes.
I would think the competitive level has to be as good as it's ever been. We kind of outlined that today, and it has to be more for us because, something that, we talked about today is, we're the champ. Like, we're getting everybody's best shot. Won the national championship against the team that we played. So it was a big weekend for a lot of those guys. And a lot of those guys had tough series, and they gave us our best shot, their best shot. And, we're, a pitch location away from, winning 2 out of 3 and taking one of the best teams in the country's best shot. Well, this team is a perennial Omaha team, one of the best programs in the country. We're going to get their best shot. And so the competitive level has to be off the charts. And I really want us to see us play with maturity. Like, no matter what happens in the game, we're always ready to move forward to the next pitch and do our job on that pitch.
A little interesting, Jake, to hear him kind of engage with some of that national championship rematch talk, because remember when we kind of mentioned that, it was, and maybe it was how I framed the question. Remember, he kind of pushed back against a little bit of that pre-series against Florida, saying like, I don't think it really has too much relevance here.
Yeah,
But
he even mentions like it's two different teams. Those teams lost stars, like Wyatt Langford for Florida, Dylan Cruz, Paul Skeens for us.
But it definitely felt like Jack Caglione remembered last year, right? And again, you're one pitch away, everything he talked about. But I think maturity would be the word going into this weekend. Like, if you're going to go on the road and you're going to find success against this very good Arkansas team, a mature ability to handle bad moments in adversity and not let one bad pitch turn into two or one bad at-bat turn into two, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, you get the point. That is as critical as anything this weekend.
My thing is like yesterday we played a sound where he said like his approach on how he was going to coach out of a struggle, and he's like, well, I have to model. Like,
yes, he has to be the model.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
He's like, if I want them to be competitive, I have to be competitive. If I want them to be mentally tough, I have to be mentally tough. And I think you saw that in the Southeastern game last night where he played a little small ball where Braswell laid that bunt down, moved the runners, and then, which I don't even know the last time I saw a squeeze in baseball, period. The next play was a squeeze play that we lucked out on so bad.
Yeah, which granted was a double play.
Yes.
That for some reason they screwed up the home plate umpire screwed up the original call, and you can't review it.
Yeah.
I don't know why can you not review that? I don't
so
understand
you can only review fly balls in the outfield.
Oh, what?
Or past the first base or something like that. Yeah. So you can't review infield.
Yeah,
pop-ups.
no, I mean, it was if you didn't see it, it was an awful bunt by Milam.
Terrible bunt.
He's about to get hit in the face, and so he kind of freaks out and like slaps at it, flies in the air.
But it was
First
a squeeze, so
baseman
he
makes a
had to get
diving
it down.
catch. Yes, he had to get exactly. You're right. He couldn't pull it back. Squeeze was on. He had to make contact, and it should have been a double play. It wasn't, but
it was. We got so lucky.
To your original point, yes, that is the exact kind of modeling the competitive drive, finding ways to do whatever it takes to win.
I think that's why he brought up, hey, we're the national champs. They're after us. We're going to be, there's another sound where he's like, we're going to be, I think it was that one. We're going to be getting everybody's best.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have to be the best. And I think you saw the competitive edge with laying the squeeze down, even though it didn't, it worked out in our favor that time, but
the call, so that's the thing in sports.
It's just competitive.
Well, that's the thing in sports
aggressive
too, though, where remember, we can't always, if you're trying to analyze coaching, you can't always be results based,
right?
Because the call was good, the execution of the call was not in that regard, even though they got lucky.
LSU won a national championship because of a squeeze play that Trey Morgan was a superhero.
Oh God, what a play!
That was such a great
play, dude.
Man.
The only thing better than that play is going to the MMR Group, the largest industrial electrical instrumentation contractor in the entire country, y'all. And if you are looking to ignite your career, if you want outstanding benefits, okay, if you want to be a part of a dynamic culture, it's all there right here in Baton Rouge. MMR has been headquartered here for decades, but they got offices all over the globe. And let's say you're a student, get in touch with them. Go to mmrgrp.com, and you can explore the pathways to help you find ways to get into internships to kind of start down that career path. Maybe you're just starting your career in these industries. Again, we want you to apply. See what MMR can offer you in terms of furthering your education, getting your feet wet, your first opportunities, even if you're a seasoned pro. Again, MMR GRP, apply now. There's roles for you, and just see how much different it can be. When I toured the campus, I was blown away. Y'all, there is a commitment to the people, to the employees that you just do not see. mmrgrp.com. All right. Let's go. I want to get back to a little football sound real quick here, Alontre. Let me get a little Chris Hilton, and as now he finds himself as the old head in that wide receiver room.
Basically just taking another step forward, trying to become more of a vocal leader, because I'm not the guy that talks much. I normally lead by actions. So I'm just trying to take that next step and being a vocal leader.
That's always a tough thing for people who are not necessarily naturally extroverts. You saw with Jaden Daniels last year, something that he had to do. Chris Hilton trying to do the same now. Here's Hilton on working with Nuss.
Like I said, we came in at the same time in that 21 class, so that chemistry has kind of like always been there. But seeing him become more of a leader is what I'm most proud of.
And then finally now Joe Sloan as the new offensive coordinator.
Like I said, they were sharing the play calling in the bowl game, so I kind of got a feel of what that was like. And like I said, we early in spring ball now, so we still cleaning stuff up, but I think we're going to be fine.
So it should have said Joe Sloan and Cortez Hankton, but he's not the only Hankton on LSU staff anymore. As Corday Hankton, Cortez's brother, has now been hired as a lead offensive analyst. I like this move on a couple of different levels. First off, I think Hankton is one of the more valuable members of this staff. And again, if the wide receivers do well again this season, after what they lost, then yeah, that just really proves without question that you need to keep this man happy at all times. Also, Corday brings a pretty interesting resume of his own here. He's been on shadow staff at Michigan State, Virginia, Texas, Colorado. He used to be a police officer in New Orleans before getting a degree at Southern. So a ton of Louisiana inroads, ton of Louisiana experience, and now added to that LSU shadow staff. So Chris Hilton, I feel like all eyes are on you to be the next great, and you've got some very big shoes to fill. Let's see if you can do it.
That receiver room has talent. That receiver room has players that we've talked about for a long time. But now, when you lose two first-rounders at the same position, there's going to be some worry. There's going to be some questions. I wouldn't even say doubt, because LSU just consistently feels like they find their next great receiver. But you're losing two dogs.
Yeah.
And you bring one in from Liberty. You have a Chris Hilton who he was out there with those guys. He was the 3 last year. What can he do now to be a 2? Because Kyron Lacey was also a 3 at times, right? Different formations. I would say Kyron obviously more of the 3 than Chris Hilton was, but Chris Hilton was out there a ton with those guys. And Kyron Lacey, from everything I got yesterday,
Kyron Lacey's probably the one right now.
Yeah, I think he's the one for sure.
Yeah.
Everything that I heard in that building yesterday was Kyron Lacey has gone to another gear.
Yeah, he looks
locked in. And there's been more
in.
consistency there than in the past, because Kyron Lacey's had moments. He's had them against Alabama. He had them against A&M, but it was like, okay, some of those moments against Florida State, like you want to see more consistent play. And the word is so far that he's been that guy, because LSU needs him and kind of has to have him be that guy.
When we get back, let's close that out. True ODB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. KTOZblinds.com. Invite my guy Brandon Barton into your home and let him put together a custom plan for you. I always talk about the information you're going to gather during this process, right? I don't think you realize just how deep the wormhole goes in terms of what these window coverings can mean to your house from an aesthetic and functional utility sort of standpoint, right? Whether it's a man cave, a kid's bedroom, a theater room, outdoor living space. Again, just pure aesthetic. Like, let Brandon Barton put together a plan like he did for Jake, and then get your home to where you want to be, invest in it. K to Z window cover.
Yeah, look, he's going to put that plan together for you. He's going to do it like in 10 minutes. No matter how big your house is, he's going to know your house in like 5 to 10 minutes and tell you exactly what you need at K2ZBlinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade, time to slip away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me, like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back into OTB. Talking spring football in the last segment. Got a chance to see a little bit of practice yesterday. Now they practice in the mornings. And so obviously we can't be there, unfortunately. And everybody's like, why are you and T-Bob not at practice? I'm like, y'all know we do a morning show. And like, good point. But they do have a practice on a Saturday, I believe, next week. And so hopefully if we're in town, T-Bob and I can make it out there because, again, everyone was asking why we're not coming to practice. Trust me when I say we want to be at practice. But one of the positions.
Why are you not coming to practice? It's during your show?
Well, I said that and they'd be like, oh, yeah.
Idiots?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I'm just kidding. I don't ever know what's going on with other
the person
people's
that I was
schedule.
talking to, if you're listening right now, that was T-Bob that called you.
I don't expect anybody to know our schedule. It's, I mean,
but as soon as I said
all
it, like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But obviously the group that we're talking about the most was defensive line. They do pick up a commitment from a Wisconsin defensive lineman yesterday. Now it's someone who played more defensive end than defensive tackle, but he's going to transition to defensive tackle.
He's 6'3", 310, which is you can play D tackle there.
And they're going to continue to bring in bodies. And look, we've known that. I've had conversations with coaches, and it's the obvious because they have to. There's a couple of people on their radar now that they feel really good about that are currently, making that decision. And so they're going to have the numbers. What kind of talent are you bringing in? This is somebody, played a lot for Wisconsin. I believe Gio had 6 starts for Wisconsin. So you just need.
He's experienced. Gio Paez, he's been playing for 5 years. He is a super senior, Jake. He's going into his 6th year of college football. He appeared in 13 games last year, 6 starts. There's no crazy stats, but
no,
it's exactly what we said though.
You need an able body that can go out there and not be lost, and that isn't, no disrespect, not a walk-on.
You just have to get this. This group is not going to be great. At least I don't think so. Maybe I've heard good things about Guillory. Maybe somebody really surprised us. This group's not going to be great. You just have to get them to be good enough so your other great groups can shine.
Yes.
Because I think Harold Perkins and Weeks and Penn in the middle could be one of the better groups in this team. Especially under Blake Baker, right? What could upset that would be if the interior is constantly able to get to the second level, no problem, because your D tackles are struggling. Yeah. I think the edge actually has quite a bit of talent. We broke that down last week. I think they could be pretty exciting, but again, they're not going to be as good as they can be if the interior is a complete disaster. So That's all I'm saying. It's never going to be a strength, but you just can't make it a weakness that sinks the rest of the defense.
No, and you can't take this weakness and it take over for your strength like T-Bob's mentioning, because if you're playing Mike linebacker, if you're playing somewhere in the box at linebacker, the worst thing that can happen to you is you have guards in your lap, right? And you have defensive tackles in your lap because the guard is pushing that tackle there. Like, the line of scrimmage has to be set for any good linebacker to be able to go out there and roam and make a play. And so, yes, that correlates with each other. If you don't have a defensive tackle in front of you that is keeping guards off of you, then you're not going to be the player that you can be. And so that's a position group, and having conversations with Blake Baker, of course he likes Harold Perkins. He loves Greg Penn. He had Greg Penn the first time that he was here. And he talks about the Weeks brothers, not just one. He talks about both of them being players that he likes. And
That's a lot of guys for 2 spots, though. Have they talked about how they're kind of managing those reps yet?
Well, it is, but I think that everybody's a little bit different, and so I think you'll see 4 play. Now, if you had to say, Greg Penn's going to play.
I mean, but also you want Harold Perkins on the field as much as possible. So I imagine if you bring those other guys in, I hope that you're just kind of moving Perk maybe around to
I think Whit Weeks actually
else.
has some versatility as well.
True.
I think he's somebody that, unfortunately, last year it wasn't showcased as much as it should have been, but he has some versatility. Now, his brother Wes Weeks is obviously he's an in-the-box linebacker, and I think that's where his strength lies. But I think Whit can give you a little bit something else. So if you want to get creative with him, that's another player that you can kind of find a position for, because he's kind of earned the right to get a position.
Maybe those guys started working in that star position a bit that we talked about with Major Burns. I could see that.
I think Whit Weeks could do a good job in that spot.
Yeah. But yeah, to our original point, it's just you just more bodies in the interior defensive line. Somebody says, T-Bob, what about Preston Hickey, the strongest player on the team? Actually, I feel bad. Somebody wrote me a very long, good email informing me on Preston Hickey, and
he's a player that right now, he's in the 2 deep.
He's in the 2 deep? Okay, hell yeah.
He's a former walk-on, and right, wrong, or indifferent, those guys have challenges, and you've got to go above and beyond. Now, T-Bob and I played with walk-ons that got scholarships, and it can happen. Hell, Chris Doring was a walk-on. He had the SEC record for 3 decades. So it can happen.
James Stampley, fullback of the 2011 football team. Power lifter.
Josh Williams.
Josh Williams.
Walk-on.
So, maybe Hickey's the next one
so
in
maybe
that crew.
Maybe he can give you something, but, they need to continue to stack bodies, though. Because even if you have him, you still are light in that position group.
Stick bodies. All right, hour 2 in the books. Hour 3, it's going to be an unhinged hour 3 in some ways. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Did y'all see that video of the sea cucumber that I just texted y'all when I was in the bathroom?
No, not yet.
Well, you're going to. Rejuve Me Medical. Restore Me. After you see the video, you're going to see why I've named him T Cucumber. Rejuve Me Medical, restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Okay, you got mood, memory problems, facial aging, andropause, menopause, a lack of energy, rolling out of bed, or rolling in. These are all the untreated effects of aging. Okay, and let Rejuve Me customize a plan for you by getting that free consultation, drawing your labs, and putting together a plan. Maybe it's HRT, maybe it's a maglutide, maybe it's not, maybe it's B vitamin shots. There's a ton of different options, and they are now in Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, and Shreveport. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Yeah, go to that website to get your consultation set up. Also coming to Monroe as well. Really throughout the state of Louisiana. Find that location that is nearest you. Yeah, tell Blackwell. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has $7,500 off MSRP on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks. $7,500 off plus 1.9% financing for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Wednesday, March 27th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 69. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll talk a little New Orleans Saints, and we'll find out the rest from there. Like T-Bob said, it will be a little unhinged. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch them in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's up, yo? Welcome back to hour 3 of OTB. Covered a lot of sports thus far today. Talked a lot of spring football, NFL Pro Day, Pels Thunder last night. Got Pels Bucks coming up tomorrow night. Again, a disappointing loss for your New Orleans Pelicans after a furious comeback. Looking like the Skeletons were going to get it done. But look, clutch scoring remains an issue with this team. They got to figure it out. We talk about LSU baseball getting back in the win column before they're going to head over to Arkansas this weekend. Did we miss any sports yet today? Is there anything that we have not talked about? We mentioned the transfer. We mentioned Corday Hankton being hired. I feel like we did it. Oh, Matt McMahon, LSU basketball. What was the story that you want to talk about here?
So
Taylor?
Michi Johnson, South Carolina guard, has entered the transfer portal.
Okay.
He entered it yesterday. Look, he's a guy that's going to want to go somewhere that can compete for a national championship. He's averaged 14 points a game. But look,
Weird
if you're
way to set that up.
If you're Matt McMahon, you go take a shot at this guy. I mean, you're losing your backcourt. Jordan Wright's going to be gone. Trey Hannibal's going to be gone. You're not sure yet with Jalen Cook. So get Michi Johnson, go after him, get him in the building. I mean, he's a guy that has had a lot of success in the SEC. He's a proven scorer. He's a multi-year starter. You need a proven scorer in your backcourt. He's 6'2". I mean, this looks like a really good fit if you're Matt McMahon.
If you're Matt McMahon, yes, it seems like a really good fit. But how you started that makes me feel like it would be quite the sell to convince Michi that it would be a really good fit.
Probably just because, like, if you go look at it, South Carolina had a really good year. I mean, they made the
were actually the
NCAA
only
tournament.
team that had more of a conference. They were the only team that had more of a conference improvement from one year to the next, more than LSU out of the Power Six.
Power Six.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, their program's trended in the right direction. I'm assuming if you're an upperclassman, you can make this move. I mean, this is just an assumption on my part that he's trying to go somewhere where he could win a national title. You got to take a shot on this guy. I mean, he's a really, really good player. He's a big-time scorer. He's been really efficient for about 2 to 3 years in the SEC. I mean, go get him. Do whatever you can.
Jake, one guy that look, we'll see what ends up happening to Michi and the LSU basketball team. But the New Orleans Saints, draft time right around the corner. I know you love the draft, and the Saints are officially set to visit with Keon Coleman. We said it yesterday. It's feeling more and more like you're going to have to go O-line in round number 1.
Yes.
In light of the Ryan Ramczyk news, you're now potentially down both tackles. Still don't know what's going to happen with Andrews Pete, right? Maybe he finds a way back to this team, but if he does not, you are in pretty dire straits. Underhill going so far as yesterday on the program to say that maybe you go O-lineman with the first 2 picks. But it seems like positionally, look, even though Dallas Turner maybe early on in the process, you thought you might have a shot at him, he might be the first fender off the board, right? That's not going to happen. And it seems like positionally, Jake, a lot of people have shifted to, O-line and wide receiver, and Keon Coleman becomes interesting in that regard because he's someone that you think would be around potentially in that second round. And he's a guy that a lot of years maybe even go first round. But I don't know about you. I love Keon Coleman. Maybe it's just after suffering at his hands so directly as LSU fans over the last couple of years, but 6'3", had 11 tuds last season. That's with missing time. He returns punts. He's great at contested catches. He's a Louisiana native. So, we don't always talk about that, right? But when you become a professional, one of the big factors in guys kind of making it or not can also be how do you feel about your living conditions, the city, and to be fair, I guess that can work both ways. Maybe sometimes it's better for you to get away from your hometown, eliminate distractions, but maybe sometimes it's better to be back in your home state. Either way, I would be really excited about the potential of a Keon Coleman joining what I already think is a pretty good wide receiver room.
I think Keon Coleman's a really good player. This receiver draft is so deep. It depends on where you want to select that receiver. At 45, I truly think that you can get a starter caliber receiver.
Yeah.
Like somebody that can come in and make an impact right away. Now, which body type do you prefer? Do you prefer somebody, like you mentioned, T-Bob, Keon Coleman, 6'3", 215 pounds, and is a big body? You have Chris Olave, you have Rashid Shaheed. That would be a different body than they are, which, different's good sometimes if you're looking for a different type of receiver. He's somewhere in that 35 to 45 range. He ran a 4.61. To put that in perspective, that was even
slow. Is that?
No, I ran a 4.6 is what I was about to say. So, even slower than a fullback. But he was the fastest during the gauntlet drill. So he hit top speed in the gauntlet drill. So some people are saying,
good football speed.
He still plays fast.
Didn't Puka Nacua not run great last year?
I don't know. I know he did good in the gauntlet.
No. I'm saying I
don't remember the 40.
I believe he didn't have the best 40 time because there's that behind the scenes scene where McVay and them are talking about but look at the game speed.
Right.
Look at him when he's got the pads on. And that kind of speaks to what we're getting at earlier, that 40 is not technically football training.
So it depends. Do you want the 6'3", 215-pound receiver? Troy Franklin from Oregon is going to kind of be in that range. I think Tez Walker from North Carolina will be there. Tez Walker, I thought, had some good moments at the Senior Bowl. Do you want to go Ricky Pearsall? Do you want to go a receiver that is only 6'1", 190 pounds? It feels like maybe you have that already.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got Olave there. You got Shaheed as your tinier speedster.
If I went smaller receiver in this draft,
A.T. Perry has height, but he doesn't have the build of a Coleman.
I would go Roman Wilson if I went smaller. Yeah. He was incredible at the Senior Bowl. So was Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall left early because he felt like he'd done enough. That bothers me a little bit. But
classic
Roman Wilson
Florida
is
guy.
somebody that stayed the entire course and went out there and played well all week long and was the only player to beat Mitchell from Toledo in one-on-ones that I saw the entire week. So
when attacked Quinion.
So he's a player that I would like if you're looking for a smaller receiver. I don't think the Saints are looking for that. I think if you're talking about bigger receiver at 45, Keon Coleman, Troy Franklin, Tez Walker, those are going to be your three options.
And all of the Saints seem to have figured it out. One of the largest areas of improvements by the end of the year last year was red zone. Remember, it was disastrous early on.
Yes.
And 6'3", 215, 11 tuds last season, great at contested catches. What is the exact box that Keon Coleman checks more than no Mike Thomas anymore? That feels like Keon Coleman slots right in there.
Now, if this player is available, I do not think he will be. But the Saints, we all know, they'll move up from 45 if they have to. Xavier Leggett from South Carolina. He is 6'1.5", 222 pounds.
Yeah.
And I hate that I'm doing this because it happens all the time. I'm not a fan of it. You compare somebody, and it's like, well, yeah, you are, because he played for South Carolina as well. Deebo Samuel is going to be the player that he comps to. And again, I don't like it, but I think it can be factual. Who is your offense coordinator now?
Kubiak.
Who did he
Deebo.
just? Who did he just have success with?
Yep.
Right.
Shanahan, Deebo.
Who did he see up close and personal? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Xavier Leggett, if you want that Deebo type guy in your offense, you saw what it looks like up close and personal. He's got the same body type, kind of.
And he has the speed too.
Yes,
he tested insanely well.
So kind of that receiver, but he can play some running back. We can be creative. Now I know you've got other creative players in Taysom Hill and other guys on your roster, but if you're like, hey, this gave us so many mismatches, even if when he wasn't giving the ball, it was giving somebody else an opportunity to be open because they knew they had to pay attention to Deebo. Then Xavier Leggett, who I think is going to go top between 25 and 35. If you feel like you want to be aggressive and move up for him, I would be all for that.
So it's interesting. I think this started as a Keon Coleman specific conversation, but I feel like it's kind of evolved into you probably have some nice options at receiver in round 2. If you want to give Derek Carr another weapon to play with or just try to increase your weapon core going forward, it feels like you can do that. So be interested to see where the Saints end up going in that regard. Not a bad position to be in, though.
And didn't Dennis Allen say in spring meetings that they're looking at pass catchers? And he said we're not looking necessarily just for receivers. He said pass catchers. And so tight end is still – something that if Brock Bowers is there at 14, he might be that kind of player that we're talking about, T-Bob.
Yeah, Brock's tempting enough where I don't give a damn what your needs are.
Exactly.
You have to,
and if he's there
at
14,
to explore it.
Then maybe you take a flyer on a Brock. I say flyer just because it's not a position of need, and we haven't seen him because he's been injured in this postseason pre-draft process, but still Brock Bowers put out the best tape of any tight end in recent memory over the last couple of years. And so, maybe a Brock Bowers, or maybe in the third round, if he's still there, Theo Johnson from Penn State, 6'6", 260, and tore it up there at the Combine.
6'6", 260. Jeez, dude. That's a big ball. All right. Options for New Orleans Saints to get more dynamic. And, again, you are all in on Derek Carr. You can keep investing. And then if Derek Carr doesn't work out, just trade for Dak Prescott. Because there's no way that the Cowboys should keep him.
True.
I mean, why are the Cowboys going to play this last season out with Dak Prescott and then not get anything from him?
You know me. I'm the first to criticize Jerry Jones's decisions. I don't know if they have an option here. I mean, your options are to trade him, which why would anybody give you a lot in return for trade value when they know they could just sign him next year?
Won't.
You can't franchise tag him again. You can't pay him all that money because he hasn't had the playoff success. I don't really know what other option Dallas has right now.
They have no appetite to commit $40 to $50 million. So no, this is too dark to utter out loud, and I don't know if this is a good way to run a franchise, but it would almost be like, no, you trade him to just get anything, even if it is just crap, like 4th round, 5th, or whatever.
That's going to be what you're going to have to do.
And then you just lose. And then you try to go get a quarterback.
Or grab a guy in the 2nd, 3rd round you feel good about, like, oh, I like him for next year. You get a bridge quarterback for this upcoming season, and then put in your young guy the next year. You have options. None of them are great. That's the issue.
If only Baker is still available,
Dude, I know. They had their shot.
Would you take Baker over Dak Prescott?
100% I would. Is that a fair opinion?
Is that a fair opinion? 100%. I would. 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 100%.
Baker Mayfield has a winning record in the playoffs.
I don't know.
He has a winning record in the playoffs.
I think you're too close to the situation.
Yeah, you got too
I think
many
we got to
badging
take you
going.
on the case.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, you got too much in this thing.
Baker's got a better playoff record, better touchdown to interception in the playoffs, and Dak's probably had better weapons as well.
Who has more appearances in the playoffs?
I think Dak does.
Dak's been a significantly better regular season quarterback than Baker.
But if you go per game, though, in the postseason, he has.
I know you keep saying in the postseason, Baker's got a small postseason sample size. I can't. No, I think you've gone a step too far with your Baker love and your Dak hate here.
Yeah. Hey, one last little Saints draft note. 2 names to pay attention to because I don't think we're going to convince Taylor that Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. So let's move real quick back to the Saints. 2 names at tackle that I think would be there, even potentially into the 3rd round, that I think could help the Saints. If you don't end up going, 1st round, which again I think that they will. At 14, it just feels like you can't pass up. But a guy, Roger Rosengarten from Washington. I know Henry Rosengarten is probably the first thing that comes to your name. Roger Rosengarten is a guy that I watched at Washington up close and personal for 2 straight games, handle his own against Texas and even against Michigan. He's kind of in that 70 to 80 pick range. So 3rd round, I think starting right tackle from day one ability, and Javon Foster from Missouri would be the other. Now, you might even get Javon Foster in the 4th round, but those are 2 players that I think are being undervalued in this NFL draft because it is such a strong tackle class that they could be starters in the NFL.
Roger. You don't know that.
Roger Rosengarten.
I like how he did his face paint. He did exactly like I did. The old cheek slash down. All right. So Jake, continuing to give you some potential options for the New Orleans Saints there.
Roger Gardenhoser.
Roger Gardenhoser. Yes. Exactly.
Henry Rowengartner.
All right, when we get back, let's dive in to St. Tammany's new coroner, Christopher Tape, because my man's had a weird first day at work, and, well, he shouldn't probably even be at work. It's one of the more insane internet holes that I have found myself in. Keep it locked right here on OTV.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com, CommunitySteelCo.com. You need steel, be it purlin, tubing, sheet metal, steel buildings, whatever it is. It's all there for you at Gonzales, Louisiana. And because it's local, a few great things. First off, they manufacture it all, right? It's not just like Bob Elser sold locally. No, so they go straight from the wholesaler to making the product, meaning there's no middleman jacking up the price for you on the back end. It also means that you can go see the product, touch it, feel it before you purchase it. And it also means that you do a live and local human sales team, not email forms, not phone calls, not automatic systems. No, you are dealing with the actual people. Make sure they can serve your business in the best way. There's a reason why they're exploding so much. Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com.
Yeah, they've been open for over 2 hours already. Go see them today in Gonzales, Louisiana. CommunitySteelCo.com. Top right corner of that website. Find that location, CommunitySteelCo.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Alondra, do we have a year on this song?
Shoot, 2000 something.
Yeah.
Like 2005.
2002.
I'm gonna guess and say
five feels right.
04.
I'm saying 05.
Let's see.
2.
I think 04 because I feel like high school.
This is Lincoln Park, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like high school Jake listened to this one
2003.
in 04. Okay, we're all
02.
over it.
No, I think I was right.
I think
You said 05. I said 02.
I changed it to 04.
Yeah, but you went over.
We were all close.
Yeah.
But it was 03. None of us were right.
No, I was right.
We were close, though.
Yeah, but I was closer. Therefore, more right.
The older T-Bob gets, the more he gets the always right personality.
I've literally always thought I'm always right. Yes.
I think it's gotten worse recently.
No, never.
What do we think?
Anybody who's ever known me knows that I will argue my point until you have me dead to rights.
Really?
Yes, like you have to have the blood on
I don't know.
my
I feel
hands.
like, okay, that's fair because I feel like there's some things like I'll care about and I'll be like trying to share my frustrations with you, and if you don't care about it, you're like, it's not that big of a deal. So it's things that you care about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no. I like to argue. I like to argue. And so if I think I'm right, I argue about being right.
Do y'all feel like T-Bob likes to argue? I don't feel like we don't argue ever.
I don't know.
What?
Who do you argue with?
I love to debate. What do you mean? Anything.
Well, we love you. We know you love debate.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think the only one he argues with is Taylor.
Are we literally having a meta debate
that's
about
true,
my want to debate right now? Am I debating that I like to debate? I said
debate.
I don't know. I'm kind of just like over it.
I never got to join the debate team or anything. I always felt like I could have been a master debater, but I just never quite got the opportunity to.
I think you are.
Yeah. It never came to.
So, speaking of master debaters, this guy would not be that because he ran unopposed for St. Tammany's coroner. He may be that, though, because he's a bit of a sicko, it appears, allegedly. Christopher Tate. Christopher Tate is on the struggle bus right now. He is the new St. Tammany coroner. On the first, and look, the initial headline that I saw was kind of hilarious in that he shows up for work. There's a box outside or something, and in the box is a body bag.
What's in the box?
No, like, what's in the box? That's all I can think of.
Is a body bag.
Oh, whoa.
And he took it as a threat. He immediately calls the police over a suspicious package, calls in a bomb threat. The hazardous disposal team has to come out and take care of it. Well, Christopher, I think you may have forgotten
that you're a coroner.
You're a coroner. It's a body bag, you dummy. Like, what do you mean? It's yes, of course it's a body bag. You are a coroner. It's supposed to be there.
That's the most common place to see a body bag.
So like, again, so I see this headline. I'm like, okay, this is funny. That's just like, yes, it's a ridiculous headline. It's a ridiculous story. But then you start to go deeper on the story and who Christopher Tape is, and allegedly, and it becomes dark and greasy. And I didn't realize this, Jake. Do you realize like how much, I guess, like power the coroner's office has in terms of with these autopsies? Like when it comes to like sexual assault victims and like for instance, one of his job requirements is he's going to be overseeing a sexual assault response team from a 5-parish area. So think about this.
Dang.
That becomes a little disconcerting when you learn that in 2002, he was indicted on 6 counts of child sexual assault. And the only reason the case got thrown out is because the state had violated his right to a speedy trial. Because the state arrested him and then took 14 months to bring a formal charge, which he used a legal loophole to then get the case thrown out. When you read about it, it makes your stomach churn. It's some gross stuff. It's spanking your girlfriend's child and then getting caught with a treasure trove of spanking barely legal porn in a woodshed. It's some sick stuff. Again, he says he was just disciplining his daughter, or not his daughter, disciplining his girlfriend's daughter. Even though she, the actual victim herself, told her mom, look, I'm being punished. I'm not doing anything wrong. And he's looking at it. He's making me sit there. He admitted to spanking her and rubbing her bottom out. It is disgusting. So that man who got indicted on 6 counts of child sexual assault, who in 2022 had to pay an undisclosed civil settlement to a young female employee after she accused him of unwanted advances, that is the man now in charge of overseeing a sexual assault response team for a 5-parish area. After he calls in the bomb threat for the body bag outside of the coroner's office, the next first thing he did on the job was shut down a program called SANE. This is a program that provides specialized health care to survivors of sexual assaults. It teaches nurses, you have nurses here who, thanks to SANE, are specifically trained in evidence collection. They are crucial to the persecution of sexual assault crimes. And his quote as to why he did it is, other people can deal with the repercussions, he said. If Tangipahoa thinks it's a moneymaker, they can take it. Livingston, they can take it. Any of the hospitals can take it. If it's a moneymaker, take it. I'm a businessman. It's not a moneymaker. To be clear, Republican elected officials said this is asinine. It's not a business. It's not supposed to be a moneymaker, and it's not even locally funded. It's funded at the state level, at the federal level. And again, I know many of you think about my politics that I've espoused in the past, and so you want to paint everything as I say is left. The elected officials that are going out after this guy are all Republicans.
Right.
So this is not a left-right issue. This is an issue.
This is a moral issue.
Yeah, this is an issue of perhaps us being too apathetic that this guy was allowed to run unopposed. I can't pretend to know what elements or trends led us to that moment. But I read this story and I felt like we had to talk about it because this guy has got to go. And there is a major movement taking place to get him to resign and leave office. Now, he did say that any elected official that is...
Who's this guy have dirt on?
He said any elected official that calls for him to resign is unfit for office. Christopher. Allegedly. The things you have done, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say you're pretty unfit for this office as well. I mean, let's say you even were disciplining that child. How the hell you feel comfortable enough making your girlfriend's child take down their underwear and pants and spanking them on the bare bottom? Like, that's some nasty,
that's disgusting
sicko mode stuff.
Yeah.
Not even getting into what they got in your shed over there in New Mexico, or they used the legal loophole to get out. So why don't you do us all a favor and just go away?
Go away.
Like,
Why do we do
Louisiana's
these things
already
in Louisiana?
embarrassing
Yeah.
enough. I know. We're already embarrassing enough without you now holding the title of coroner for St. Tammany.
This tells me that absolutely no one wants to be coroner in St. Tammany Parish. How in the hell did this guy run unopposed? It would have been incredibly easy to beat him.
Well, I'm
Again,
pretty
so,
sure
like,
a lot of coroners run unopposed. Like, I think Bo Clark was unopposed this last cycle too.
I am not claiming to know anything about it, right? I'm not. I haven't read about it. I haven't studied about it. I don't know. I never knew that a coroner's office, to be quite honest, I didn't know how much power they actually wielded until reading some of this story. And yes, like, we deserve blames, I guess, for whatever we do as a citizenry that led us to this point. But now that all of this New Mexico investigation from 2002 has come to light, and the civil settlement from 2022, and immediately shutting down Sane the first day on the job, calling the cops in a bomb threat and then blaming the previous regime, saying they've bugged the office and then they put that package there to cause him to miss 5 or 6 hours of work. Just make him start behind the 8 ball. Yeah, I don't know. He's got to get out of here, dude. He's got to get out of here.
Yeah, I can't. Well, I shouldn't say can't in Louisiana. I would say I can't see how he doesn't, but unfortunately, these are things we deal with. But if you have, a Republican governor, and you mentioned, T, that Republicans are the ones going after this guy hard, maybe that is something that.
I mean, somebody has to. Look at him, bro. Look at him.
Nah, bro.
I mean, even the look is not helping his case in any regard whatsoever. Just don't show up at my house, Chris. That's all I'm saying, dog. Hootie says he looks evil. Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree. I mean, I gotta say though, it seems like this is gaining. It seems like this is gaining so much steam that I do think this will end with enough political pressure being applied that he's forced out of office. But that's man. I don't know. Again, it's a story that I just thought was going to be funny because a coroner calling the cops over a body bag.
And then you did a deep dive into it.
And then it just got deeply offensive. And I could have kept going. Like, you know when you get into a hole and you keep clicking on the blue links, the hyperlinks in the article?
Yeah.
And then my jaw just, kept further dropping the more that I read. Like, I don't even think I have all of the sort of details because I ran out of time before the show began because I got to this late.
Look, make no mistake about it, T-Bob. The headline you found is hilarious, right? I mean, he's calling the cops and he's like, somebody left a body bag. Who would put this here? And it's like, well, where else are you supposed to put it, my guy? Yeah. He kind of looks like if you've seen any suspenseful TV show or something, he's like the guy who runs a small time church, but he's really not a good guy. You know what I'm talking about? He's like the pastor that's into all the shady stuff.
No. I mean,
that's him.
It's like combining the story with the picture. Like, if you combine that story with any picture, it's, you're immediately going to look at that picture a bit differently. But from a base level, yes, I agree. I don't think his look is helping himself or too much or doing him too many favors. For what it's worth, Christopher, he does. He denies it. He said, "Look, the porn is legal, and I was just punishing the girl." Okay, so I mean, he says he did nothing wrong. Sure, dude. Whatever.
Daniel said, how did we get here from third-round offensive tackles? Daniel, come on. You've been in this game long enough. That's what this is.
But you Murphy, Sam, and Jody aren't talking about Christopher.
Yeah, and if they are, they're not talking about third-round offensive tackles in the next segment.
Yeah, in between.
Versatility
is
key.
Gotta go.
Ashley said he looks like a true detective character.
Yeah.
That's
well
pretty
said.
spot on.
Well said.
Yeah.
All right, when we get back, we move on from this. But again, I felt like we needed to discuss that because if we can add to the if we can add to the momentum against that guy, I would like to be a part of that. When we get back, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Coleman Roofing and Construction. ColemanRoof.com is the website. If you want the most complete, the most reliable, the most respected, the most innovative, highest of integrity roofing company in Louisiana, you want Coleman. Look, Coleman's been at it for 40 years, y'all. 4 decades. And they've continued to grow throughout. And it's because they continue to kind of push the technology, right? They are at the forefront there. And I think that's where, like, I don't highlight the innovation line a lot, but I think that's where that comes into play, right? And they're young. It's got a young, dynamic culture. They bring a lot of energy to the job. They can do any size job, commercial or residential. They do it anywhere geographically in the state, in the entire Gulf South region. Any type of roof, they have certified installers for you. Getting the latest techniques, and they do the interiors as well. Coleman Roofing and Construction.
One-stop shop. Like T-Bob always tells you, they can do it both, roofing and construction. Check them out online. Find that location nearest you in Louisiana, ColemanRoof.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB.
You know, one of those moments growing up where you find something out and you're like, nope, that's not true. Green Day not being from England. Like, they're actually, like, when I found out they're from the U.S.
Why do you think they were from England?
Just because he
Because of American
sings,
Idiot?
Well, no. He sings with, like, kind of an English accent. It feels
Well,
like in that song in
he
particular.
sings like how some English people sing with American accents. I will agree with you there. How
like there's some English-ish stuff in there.
Yeah. I know where you're talking about. I could see that being the case.
That song's really funny to me.
Time of Your Life, first song I ever really learned to play on the guitar.
I thought it was Wonderwall.
No, I actually don't know how to play Wonderwall. I could learn. I could spend a day and I could learn Wonderwall easily. But no, I never took the time to learn Wonderwall. Actually, it might have been Three Doors Down, Superman.
First song I learned on guitar, "Come As You Are" by Nirvana.
Okay, there you go.
Because it's very easy.
Hell yeah.
First song I learned on the guitar will be the next one I'll learn.
"Come As You" is really easy.
Did you ever play an instrument?
No.
Y'all are gonna laugh.
Rivers tried to tell me she played like the saxophone, the violin,
Y'all are gonna
cello.
laugh.
She made a few the other day. I'm like,
I played the oboe in middle school.
The oboe?
Yeah, in middle school.
What's that?
It's like a clarinet, but with a.
It's like the deep wind. I mean,
it's
got
a
a deeper sound,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I like a good oboe.
I was really good at it. I got prestige whenever.
Really?
Yeah.
What? So do you consider yourself a musician? Like,
No.
could you still play the oboe today?
I remember one note, so no.
Oh, okay.
But if somebody was like, "Hey, here's a refresher," I probably could.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taylor, do you have that sea cucumber video ready to go? Probably not.
I can get it in like 20 seconds.
I doubt it, but
I'm timing
do
it.
it anyway. Jake, do you have any March Madness thoughts as we sit here on the edge of it, cranking back up?
I actually just saw the Dirty Dozen from Danny and Dusty. They put it out there, and they'll pick whatever it is, and one goes and the other goes or whatever. And they waited until 11 to choose Marquette, and I'm like, "What are y'all doing?" So I was as you were talking coming into this, I was like texting them like, "Y'all are dummies." Marquette
What's
all the way
the
to
Dirty
11.
Dozen?
They always like a tournament like this. They'll each pick 6 teams, and once you pick a team, like it's gone.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
And yeah, they'll do it in
winner,
like conferences, like in the preseason as well.
Okay.
So.
All right, Jake. So I don't know much about sea cucumbers, to be fair.
By the way, he got in 15 seconds.
Good job, Taylor. I'm proud of you.
Wait, do you need sound or no?
No, it's,
I don't.
No.
That's going to run you another 50. No, I'm just kidding.
That's going to run you about another 15
Give me sound,
seconds.
'cause I think you can hear the squelching.
Oh God,
a
I don't
little
want
bit
this
here.
sound here.
But I had no idea that sea cucumbers did this. Apparently, I guess when a sea cucumber is threatened, I need to find the text here exactly so I read it right. When a sea cucumber is worried, it discharges the quivarian organ that transforms into like a sticky spaghetti structure on contact with seawater. This actually immobilizes predators. So like if you're a predator, it can kind of like wrap you up. I think it's got a little toxin in it. But Jake, look at this.
Kenapa? Dipegang doang, muncrat. Belum aku pencet padahal.
The beginning right here. This is what we actually need to see. I mean, is that normal for sea cucumbers, or is this like the Peter North of sea cucumbers? Peter Cumber.
See, but you said when it's nervous and that person's like tickling it.
Which, I mean, to be fair, if I had a giant tickling my belly, I'd be pretty worried. A giant bipedal being with like a beard and fingers, and I'm just like a little chunky sea cucumber. I think I'd be pretty freaked out. But when I get freaked out, I have trouble doing what he seems to be doing right there.
Look, I just want
Well,
to know
that's
if
what
you
she did
did.
the last few rubs to
call
make sure it all
her.
comes out, right?
How in the hell did you find this video? Your algorithm?
Science Girl on Twitter. Very good follow on Twitter. I mean, let's be honest. The person rubbing that sea cucumber knows exactly what they're doing.
Sick freak.
Yes,
Not their first time.
Is that Christopher Tape?
They've been
Christopher,
around.
put the cucumber down.
Everything reminds me of him.
Oh man. for the dude fans out there, that's just that special blue juice, man. Just that special blue juice, man. I don't think there's any great way to
no, there's no transition from
come
here.
out of that. I just thought that
Well,
was
to come out of it. That's.
I just thought that was a
That's a
funny
pretty
video.
good way to do it.
I do not. So it seems like maybe Wild Boys with Steve-O and Pontius, great old show, offshoot of the Jackass brand. I guess it seems like maybe Chad saying that they did this back in the day. I was not aware of this. This is the first time I've ever seen it. And now I did click on a couple links, and it looks way different underwater. It's objectively funnier when it happens on the land there. Rip to Pontius.
Better underwater or worse?
I think it's worse underwater.
Okay.
I think it's better on dry land. Yeah, like George said, it's just nature, man. It's just nature, man. It's amazing. The cucumber's jizz is the color of a glacier blue Gatorade.
Why are we dragging Lynn into this?
Because the blue, it's the it's not about
it
Lynn.
is the same
It's
color.
about-
It is the same color.
So if y'all are wondering, like about an hour ago, why I started the segment and T-Bob didn't, it's because this is what he was researching. This is what he was looking at. This is what he sent us during that break.
Okay, Chris Pontius is alive. My bad too. I did
You're
not
thinking
mean
of
to kill
Ryan Dunn?
Ryan Dunn, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Ryan Dunn. I did not mean to kill Chris Pontius. I apologize, guys. Also, Bam Margera seems like he's on the comeback trail. So
Is
that's
he?
good. Yeah.
He was struggling.
Yeah, I know. I see a lot of videos of him skating. I saw him and Steve-O hanging out. I think he's kind of sobering up a bit. So
Steve-O's a real one.
Yeah. Steve-O made
Like
it.
he
man.
always like
Steve-O made
he's
it.
there for the boys.
Yep, and
like
he
when
has
they
been-
struggle, it's always Steve-O that goes and reaches
because
out.
he's been there.
Yeah.
Because he's been there. It's like how Kevin Smith has been there for Jason Mewes, who dealt with his own addiction problems, and Smith has kept him very publicly accountable. All right, let's go to break and close out the show with Ask the Bench next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. If you need a new vehicle, used vehicle, you just need a rent, it's all there for you at All-Star. They got incredible deals going on all the time that change month to month. So just go on the website and you can start to explore some of those deals. What if you need service work, a body shop, you get in an accident, bring your insurance claim into All-Star Toyota. All makes and models are welcome. It's very conveniently located on Airline and Goodwood. They'll give you a free professional estimate. They have excellent lines of communication throughout the process. So they're constantly texting you. They text back immediately. So they don't make any big decisions without you making the ultimate call. And they got factory parts. They got the shuttle service, rental cars, all there on site. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, go to that website to check out what they have available because everything's available and everything that they do. Buying new, leasing, renting, whatever it is, it's available. So if you're renting for spring break coming up here next week, go check out the full fleet because, again, it is available. Call Miss Lisa Sessions today, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
There it is, the extra mile. on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or LA.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Have a go, have a blow. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Busy Art Seltzer, Blue Moon Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. What's your campaign slogan when you run for coroner?
I'll knock him dead.
Wow, dude, that's exactly what I was going to say. Hell yeah,
I feel like
Alondra.
it was set up on a tee.
Great minds think alike.
True.
Ask the Bench, what was on God's mind making the sea cucumber? I don't know.
I'm not
Big Blue
answering that
Cucumber, BBC. Ask the Bench, who's your favorite Batman?
Ben Affleck.
I love Affleck's look the most, but
I mean, it's got to be Christian Bale,
gotta be Bale.
with a
Bale.
very soft spot for Michael Keaton.
Yep. I would go Keaton, maybe second on my list.
Yeah,
I
Christian
do
Bale's a
think
really good
Pattinson did a very good job of playing the whole Bruce Wayne is the actual
That was
mask.
a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Good.
And they deal with one of the more recent kind of Batman ideas, which is that Bruce Wayne is the mask. Because he's actually a psycho and very broken and he's weird, and that Batman is who he more truly is.
And I didn't think he was going to be good going into it, but yeah,
He looked great. He got the jawline for it, and he nailed it.
Good job.
But that movie, it's kind of weird, right? I've still never sat down and watched it again. I remember, I was like, yeah, that was really good. It is long.
It's almost 3 hours, so that's not just a casual viewing.
There's going to be a Penguin series coming up here pretty soon from
Yeah.
the Batman.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Love Colin Farrell.
Ask the Bench, how sore will Flynn be since it's pro day? He's not there anymore, right? There's no way.
No, thank God he didn't have to. Now, the rules have changed. So if you wanted, if Jaden wasn't in this pro day and you wanted Nussmeier to throw to Malik and Brian Thomas, he could now. Rayola threw at Nebraska's pro day this year.
Oh, really?
He just got there in December.
Let's go, Dylon. Ask the Bench, what's your favorite 80s movie?
Oh, that is
16
an
Candles.
incredibly tough. Because you got the Rockies and Rambos and everything that you want to throw in
true,
there.
yeah.
But if you're talking about I think 80s movie,
Yeah.
Weird Science.
I was going to go Weird Science. Somebody put it in the chat. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
That's a good
So
one,
many.
too.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's so many that you could choose from there.
Is Porky's 80s? Or is that before the 80s?
Did you get 78, 79?
I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, look, any John Hughes, is going to play for me.
I guess my mind went straight to Molly Ringwald, so I was like,
Yeah,
16
John and
Candles.
Molly
But
are
then you're
the
right,
best.
though. They've got Rocky.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, the Breakfast Club's really good.
Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink is
I think
good.
that's a Ringwald and John Hughes vehicle
Yeah.
as well.
No, I know Rocky's 76, but there was Rockies in the 80s. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just like Rambo's in the 80s. And every decade. It's still out there, John Rambo, baby. Ooh, Lost Boys is a good one. I thought about Lost Boys too.
Ask. I've never seen Lost Boys. I'm gonna watch it one day. I think the next one I want to watch is The Rock. Really want to watch The Rock.
It's a good one.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Who was the worst Batman?
George Clooney.
I loved the Clooney Batman growing up. Like, loved it. But yeah, for sure. And giving the suit bat nipples will never not be funny to me.
I hate to do this because I love him as an actor. I'm going Val Kilmer.
Nope. It's
close.
I knew you were going to say it. Take a lap.
Boo.
Hey, I love Val Kilmer. I just didn't enjoy those
Kilmer.
Batman.
The greatest supporting actor performance out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Doc Holliday.
We ready for Godzilla this weekend? No.
How many of those are they making? Didn't they
I'll
just
watch
make
every single one.
Another Godzilla Kong. I don't really like.
I love it.
No. So Godzilla -1 is reportedly awesome, and that was made by the Japanese studio that made all the original OG badass
Godzilla.
Godzillas.
Just come out then?
That was Godzilla on Apple TV. It was a series.
Okay.
Yeah, they had the monster series.
It was really good.
But unfortunately, Godzilla -1 had to get taken out of theaters, and you still can't get it streaming because of this Godzilla Kong sequel. Because like two different studios have the rights, and so it's all weird rights management stuff, which I don't know. I think maybe I watched a couple minutes of that first Godzilla Kong movie, and I was like, this is garbage. But you're pumped for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Katie and I both like.
Hell yeah.
We watched the series, the Apple TV series that they just had. It was really good. Yeah, looking forward to another one.
Ask the Bench, what trend/fad should make a comeback?
Long denim skirts.
What Jalandra has on today.
Puka shell necklaces and frosted tips.
Canadian Mormon. Pogs. Not P-A-W-G. Do you remember the old Pogs that you would play with? The slammers and everything?
Yeah.
You'd collect
but
them?
that's not really like, I guess it's the trend, but I think I was thinking
fad.
I was thinking fashion trend. Like
Oh,
when that
well,
question
I
was.
didn't say fad.
I think you should bring back the tall white tees and long white socks for T-Bob.
Bro, bring back long basketball shorts. Who's going to be the first to do it? And how in the world are our brains going to revert to being like, that looks cool? It'll happen. I just don't know how it's ever going to happen. Ask the Bench. You can only pick one. You can only go to one. Pick one. Game 7, Pelicans in the finals, Saints in the Super Bowl.
Saints in the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl's a spectacle.
I think I would, and whatever, this is, I guess, a privileged answer. I got to go to one Super Bowl in my life, and it was awesome, so I think I'd actually go to the finals there.
I've been to a finals. It is incredible. Lakers, Celtics, whatever year that was.
Probably, 2010?
I didn't
I went to the Super
I didn't pay
Bowl.
for those tickets. Thank God.
I went to the Super Bowl where Dyson got tackled on the 1.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was tight.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website.